Waycross Community Sports presents exciting Ohio High School Athletic Association football. It's the Colerain Cardinals against the St. Xavier Bombers. I'm Dave Eby. I'm joined by Rocky Boyman. Rocky, the game tonight promises to be a great one.
Absolutely, Dave. In the last 10 years, this has become the premier game in the city of Cincinnati. The Colerain next matchup always seems to come with playoff implications or big-time in-season implications, so definitely a big game here tonight.
Now, looking at this game, you would think that both of these teams are very different, but what statistics say is they're very similar.
Very similar on both sides of the ball. The key to both teams is running the ball. I think we may see 10 combined passes here today out of both teams combined. Both teams definitely have to get their running attacks going. Very key to that. And then also the defensive position, the linebacking cores on both teams, very formidable and going to be a key to this game here tonight.
I think one of the things we have to look at is that there are some marquee players. You were able to look at Tyler Williams and also Connor Hunley before the game. What were your impressions?
Well, both are very formidable players. Both have 1,300 yards rushing here this year and 16 touchdowns for Tyler Williams, 18 for Connor Hunley. And they're the keys to their team here tonight. And whichever person of those two have the best game tonight, their team's going to be the most successful.
Interesting statistically that Colerain, basically people think of them as an offensive team when you look at their yardage per game. It shows that, but defensively, this is one of the best set of linebacking cores you've seen.
It really is, and right now you got Jarrett Grace, who's a Notre Dame commitment here right now. He's a great player along with a couple other guys. And on St. Xavier's side of the ball, you got Stephen Daniels, Sean Duggan, also very great players at the linebacker position.
Interesting that the Cardinals have only committed 7 turnovers on the year, the Bombers 16. When you're running a triple option, you usually have more turnovers than that.
Well, Colerain's been doing the triple option since the beginning of time, seems like. And it's one thing they do well, and Exit right now has put the triple option into play here in the last couple weeks, and they're doing a nice job at it as well.
So as you look at the stats on your monitor there, we've gone through a lot of those for you. Any other keys as you see tonight as the St. Xavier Bombers will be kicking off? They will be defending the goal to the left of your screen. The Colerain Cardinals defending the goal to the right as the Bombers won the toss and deferred. But any other things you think that come into play here tonight?
Yeah, David, a big key for the Bombers here tonight is can they handle the speed of the Colerain Cardinals? That's one thing you can practice during the week, but that speed is such a hard thing to simulate. Colerain, a very fast team, and it's going to be something we're going to find out early if St. Xavier can handle that speed.
Chris Davis back deep along with Curtis Jester, number 30. So the Cardinals, they've waited 2 years for this rematch after St. Xavier beat them in the opening game here at the Skyline Chili Classic. And so this is a long wait for the Cardinals to see the Bombers tonight in white on white, the Cardinals with red and black, and Sean Duggan, the linebacker, will be kicking off. And it looks like, as you said, the crowd would file in late tonight, and a good section of blue across the way as the Bombers are on the visiting sideline. The Colerain Cardinals have brought a large crowd. They are on the home side, dressed in the red and black that UC fans are used to seeing. That looks like number 5, Chris Davis, is going to take it on about the 5. Tries to get outside. Davis is met by 3 Bombers. Finally driven out of bounds there by St. Xavier's number 92, and that would be Jake Alexander. So the Cardinals will begin 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Rock, what's the key to stopping this triple option?
Well, the key to stopping the triple option is playing assignment football. It's one of those things you can kind of get lulled to sleep. You're going to get a dive man. There's going to be a quarterback option and then the pitch. And it's one of those things you have to keep playing the whole way because it only takes one time to break a long run here.
Williams taking off left. Williams has got a blocker in front of him. St. Xavier does not disguise that one well at all as Williams picks up 9 yards just on sheer speed before Andrew Aaron takes him down.
I'll tell you, if Aaron didn't make that tackle, he might have broke that on the very first play of the game. You can see right there, right out of the gate, that the speed by the quarterback. They get Durham out there in front of him as a lead blocker, and you can see right there that speed. He just almost gets to that corner and turns it upfield there.
Justin Cummins, the tight end, was able to make the stop after that make the good block to get that 8-yard gain for the Cardinals. Pitch coming to the right side, and that's that speed you're talking about. Nice tackle there, single by Jake Rumke, number 6. But again, on the carry is Chris Davis. That will be enough for a Cardinal first down. And you talked about speed, and we see it in the first 2 plays.
Yeah, you can see it right there. And speed at many positions. You got Curtis Jester, you got Chris Davis, you got Tyler Williams, Traylon Durham. There's speed on all skill positions of that Cardinal roster.
Garrett Wright, one of the wide receivers, checks into the game for the Cardinals. And so we're looking here at 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. The Cardinals started on about their own 25. They've had 2 rushes for 13 yards. Timeout being called, and I believe that is being called by the Cardinals. And one of the things that was looking at was that the game clock there was going, or the play clock going down a little bit, but I still thought they had a little time to get that off.
Yeah, maybe they just kind of wanted to get together. I think one part that Colerain is going to do is they're going to have to adjust, and they're seeing how to adjust to St. Xavier's defense right now. Right now you'll see Steven Daniels. He's usually the strong side linebacker, but what teams have done all year, him being a formidable defensive player, they run away from him. So what the Bombers look like they've done is kind of put him in the middle in that adjuster position, allowing him to get to both sides of the field.
So the Cardinals will begin, as we said, 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line here. They're spreading the Bombers out. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. The tight ends have done a good job blocking on both plays. Williams trying to call out signals in the backfield. Hands the ball off up the middle. Nice stiff arm there, trying to get away and stepped out of bounds on about the 46-yard line. That's about an 8-yard pickup before the Bombers finally able to knock him out of bounds. That's number 34, Traylon Durham.
Yeah, there wasn't much there. They get a nice block there, nice stiff arm there by Durham, and again almost gets that corner. They had some nice plays here right off the bat here.
Williams calling out signals. Hands off here. No, passing down the middle. Nice fake by Williams. I wasn't sure he was going to throw it, but he came back and blitzed it down the middle of the field. A lot of chatter on the headsets here as we're picking up all kinds of signals from directors and other signals coming in, so hopefully we'll get that corrected as we go.
And that's one thing I think the Cardinals are going to have to do tonight. They're going to have to throw a couple passes in there, at least so St. Xavier respects the pass and doesn't just start stacking the line with 8 and 9 defenders. So you're going to see a little bit of that tonight. I think it's more of a deal where they want to make a change up, at least keep the Bomber defense honest.
3rd and 2. Going to take it out wide. Nice job on the blocks there. St. Xavier tried to get out. They got out, but a nice cut upfield by Tyler Williams. That will be about a 4-yard pickup. That's a 1st down. Rocky, we've seen this throughout the year with the Bombers. Sometimes teams on their first drive really move it downfield on them, and then after that the adjustments are made.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a credit to the coaching staff there for the Bombers. They see what the problems that they have to correct there. The coaches get that to them. They make adjustments. And if you're going to be a winning team, a team that's going to win, especially in the playoffs, you're going to have to do that.
Justin Cummins checks into the lineup. Handoff up the middle. Nice move around his tackle. And that's Andrew Aaron making the stop. And again, Colerain's Durham just picking up yardage here.
I'll tell you what, Dave, I think one thing that's a little bit alarming for the Bombers right now, it's looking like one guy is making the tackle right now, which is you're playing a team with a lot of speed. You like to see more hats on the football. And right now, one guy's bringing the guy down. And definitely, I think they're trying to get this option attack figured out a little bit. And like you said before, I think they'll settle in here.
And the speed, as you mentioned, is one of the things that giving the Bombers a little bit of trouble here. Looks like they're going to call a little bit of a audible here at the line as Williams looking to run outside. Just holds that block long enough on the linebacker. Williams swarmed under by 3 tacklers, but not before he gets inside the 40-yard line to the 39. And the Colerain Cardinals are now putting some yardage up on the board. 3 first downs via the rush, 35 yards. They're moving the clock and moving the change, Coach.
Exactly, like you said there. That's one thing, too, with a running attack. You're milking that clock. You're taking time off the clock. You're keeping the Bomber offense off the field, and that's one thing they want to do here tonight.
Single receiver split out far to the left. Man in motion. Quick pitch coming out. Penalty flag on the play. I think we may have a hold back on the line of scrimmage. And finally stopped there by number 92, Mark Jacob.
Yeah,
and there's a penalty marker back on about the 42, and I think we may be looking at an illegal block or a hold here. It came out very, very quickly.
And I'll tell you what, again, there you
procedure.
see.
Yep. They were saying he was in motion, so that saves St. Xavier a long rush there. The St. Xavier student body, they're dressed in blue and white. They're a little quiet right now. There's their fans, and they are looking at the speed that the Colerain Cardinals bring. It'll be 1st and 15 from the 45.
Dave, you talk about the team speed. I talked with Tom Bolden, the Cardinals head coach, before the game, and he believes that this is one of the most athletic teams maybe in recent memory of the Colerain Cardinals. A lot of speed throughout. It's not just at the skill positions. Those linemen are getting downfield, defensive linemen, defensive backs. So he's very happy with this team and knows how far they can go here.
Pitch, they're going to run the same play again. Right back, St. Xavier trying to get outside, and that is the break as Rumpke couldn't get through, and finally pulled down from behind was Garrett Gilpin getting the running back there. And I'm telling you, Rumpke couldn't get there, and they made him pay. Smith on the long run for the Cardinals.
Nice run. Nothing spectacular in terms of trickery in that play there. Just your average pitch. And look, you see just that speed right there outruns Nate Gerbers to the sideline. He can't get him. Jake Rumpke can't get him. Nice block there downfield.
That was Chris Davis. I said it was Smith, but that was Chris Davis, number 5 on the run.
And luckily, Connor Busick there comes up with the tackle there before he gets to the end zone.
Penalty marker on the play. Offside whistled against St. Xavier. So the Bombers, who have found themselves penalized a little bit more this year than in the past, give up 5 yards there on that penalty. It'll be 1st and 5 from the 12-yard line. Colerain has taken the opening kick from their 25-yard line. They put 63 yards on the board. They are on the 12-yard line. They are knocking on the door at 1st and 5. About 4 minutes taken off the clock here by the Cardinals. Durham looking to go inside. Durham will get it down to about the 2-yard line. The linemen for the Cardinals, Finley, Neely, Aaron Schwender, Boyman, and Inman are just doing a great job of matching up exactly on their men in their zones.
They really are, Dave, and especially what they're doing is they're controlling those defensive ends. Albright, Barrett, and Gerbus. They're really getting a good job sealing off that end man on the line of scrimmage there, allowing that speed to get to the corner.
Williams 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Going to hand off here to Durham. He's going to bowl ahead, and he runs into a couple Bombers. They're going to mark him just short at about the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1.
And nice job here. The Bombers can hold them to a field goal here. They'll take it. You know, obviously, right out of the game, they're still getting used to that speed, getting used to their attack a little bit. So they're going to try to hold them out here.
Colerain has not done the dive too much tonight. That's one of the plays that you talked about that makes that triple option work. But they've had so much good luck going to the outside. Number 50, Jake Blust, has checked into the backfield. Handoff in the triple I. Touchdown by number 34, Trayon Durham. 75 yards on that drive by the Cardinals, Rocky, taking the clock down to 7:41. They didn't miss a beat.
Didn't miss a beat at all. And right there you see Trayon Durham with his 12th touchdown of the year. Just an off-tackle play, nothing pretty about it. Got some great blocking up front by that offensive line like you talked about before. And the Cardinals are on the board right now with 6 points.
Senior Tommy Budke lining up the extra point, and we've seen in previous years where extra points have haunted many teams in the playoffs, but Budke puts that one through. 7:41 remaining in the first quarter. Colerain on a 75-yard drive takes the lead against St. Xavier 7-0. You said the team that runs the football the best is going to get it, and that was an awesome drive by the Cardinals.
It really was, and like you said, they're taking the time off the clock, and they have to be very, very confident right now. I know coming in the game, you never coach a little nervous about how their team's going to hold up against the Bombers here, but it looked great on that first drive. And now he's going to see how their defense does, and now it's X's turn to get the ball, and obviously, like we talked about before, they're going to have to put their own running attack together here tonight.
Chris Davis had 2 for 32 yards. Trayon Durham 5 for 27. Tyler Williams 3 for 16 to make up that drive for the Cardinals. 11 plays, 75 yards, 4 minutes and 19 seconds. St. Xavier is not a team that is known for its quick score capability, and so the Bombers are not going to want to fall behind by 2 scores, but St. Xavier has improved their kick returns. We'll see how this goes here. Nice high kick. Broadbeck will take it on about the 5. He's got a seam on the outside. Broadbeck trying to hit that, runs into one of his own men, and then is finally downed on the play at about the 28-yard line, as that was number 32, David Moore, on the tackle.
Bombers get decent field position here to start off their first drive of the game. And again, last week we saw, Dave, the Bombers put that triple option attack in themselves and did a really, really nice job. And we'll see if they can continue to do that here tonight.
That's a 24-yard return by Jake Broadbeck. One of the questions was, would Max James be able to take the field? And indeed, senior Max James, one of the captains, number 12, is back there in the quarterback position with number 4, Connor Hunley, the leading rusher for the Bombers. Handoff to Hunley on the inside, and they saw that one, or Max James slipped on the outside. They all went for Hunley. James had plenty of rooms, but got caught up in his own feet there.
Well, there you see that front seven, those linebackers, and then those defensive linemen there for the Cardinals doing a nice job kind of setting the tone there early.
We'll talk about what St. Xavier can do to try to keep those linebackers out of the box, but James on the trip there actually loses a yard. We'll call it 2nd down and 11. Kilgore up on the top of your screen. Out to the left, Ballinger here on the right. Fake handoff outside. Hunley is met in the backfield at the 25-yard line, and the St. Xavier offensive line has done nothing to slow down this Colerain linebacking squad as they just came blitzing in there.
And that was a nice play by number 50, Jake Bluss. You'll see him play some defensive line, some linebacker. Great athletic player. He comes in, sets the tone there again, drops him for a loss.
2 plays for St. Xavier, 2 2-yard losses, 3rd and 14. This coming after the Colerain Cardinals went 75 yards on their drive. James in the backfield, Hunley in the slot position, doubles to the top, single wideout, now going in motion. James is going to roll to the right, got a little bit of protection, fast man coming on his backside, he's going to have to get rid of it, and Max James has to know that number 55, Andrew Smith, is not going to give him that much time, and perhaps they didn't watch the film, but Smith was the fastest man on the run that time.
He absolutely was. Andrew Smith, number 55 there. Very nice play. He led the GMC in sacks this year with 10, and you can see why. Chased him all the way across the field. Boy, was that an impressive play.
Radone back on about his 7-yard line. He's had some really good games punting. Nice snap back. Radone gets the kickoff. Going to be down to about the 43. And a smart call there by number 5, Davis. He knows they've got good field position, so didn't want to take a chance on a fumble. And the St. Xavier defense has been put in a position right now where they've been many times where they need to come up with a stop.
They do, Dave. And I'll tell you what, this is a key drive because from what you mentioned before, Bombers have not shown all year that they are a quick strike scoring ability type team. So you have to believe if Colerain gets up by 14 points here, it's going to put the Bombers in a definite hole.
I have a feeling we may see another pass this drive if the Bombers load the line again because he was wide open last time. Williams coming around. Oh, he lost his footing too. Otherwise, he would have really picked up some yardage. Andrew Aaron trying to get out there to knock him down. Also on the play for the Bombers was number 30, Sean Ahern. Let's watch the replay here, Rock.
Nice play, and I'll tell you what, if he doesn't trip right there, I think he may be going to the house. A nice tackle by the 45-yard line there. But again, yeah.
Have you been impressed with how the wide receivers are blocking? You saw number 11, Garrett Wright, come back and seal there. I've been impressed with their tight end and with their wide receivers holding their blocks.
Absolutely, and that's the key, especially like you said, they're running towards the perimeter. That's their game plan right now, and those wide receivers have to block.
Williams pulls it out, cuts it up, shakes one tackler, and then finally cannot get rid of number 55 for the Bombers. And so, depending where they mark it, could be a first down.
Looks like it is going to be a first down.
So Patrick Barrett got out there just not fast enough, so it'll be 1st and 10 on the St. Xavier 48-yard line. Now this would be one of those times where I think if they could get like a 4 or 5 yard pickup, they might try to do that little flare pattern down the middle because the Bombers are really coming up quickly, and even with that, they are not able to stop this well-oiled Colerain Cardinal machine. They said they were playing with the chip on their shoulder. They're showing it. Shakes and bakes 1, shakes and bakes 2. Penalty marker on the play. There's going to be an illegal block back at about the 45-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Chris Davis looked like he was taken to the house. Tom Bolden, this is the second time, or one of his assistants, that they've been out on the field. And so I'm sure the referees are going to say something on that as much as the boys, going to be holding here.
Right there. That's one thing about running towards the perimeter. A lot of times you got to hold those blocks a little bit longer And, you know, there's more of a tendency to hold there, and that's what you see right there. Connor Busick comes up with the tackle.
The only way that the Cardinals have gone backwards is via 2 penalties that they've had. That one for holding, one for illegal procedure, but both of them wiped out about 20-yard carries. This will be first, and they'll be back on their own 45-yard line. So first and about 17.
And you can see the...
Let's see what the referee's saying here. He's definitely saying to the coaches, please do not come out onto the field. And, you know, the coaches are fired up just like players are here.
You can see on this Bomber defense, the deepest guy they have is about 7 yards deep, so they're definitely stacking that line of scrimmage.
Durham up the middle, and Stephen Daniels was right there along with that front for St. Xavier. Gerbis also in on the defensive stop was E.J. Parton. That might be the kind of play this defense needs to get a little confidence.
You're exactly right. They need a play to kind of get some confidence, and especially from Stephen Daniels. He's their key, their linebacking core in general, but he's a guy, an absolute playmaker. 32 tackles for loss, Dave. Unbelievable stats. 16 sacks on the year. For the Bomber defense to be successful, he's going to have a big, big night tonight.
Trevon Hudson, Chris Mimes check into the lineup for the Cardinals. Williams going to cut it up. Oh, and there's a good job, and there's a penalty marker. St. Xavier may get a face mask here as Williams got down. He's very shifty, and one of the Bombers may have got on that face mask a little bit there, and that's going to give the Cardinals, yep. So St. Xavier made a very good defensive stop on the play.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Like you said, they get 2 nice stops in a row there, but this is going to bring the Cardinals across midfield here, and not a nice play there for the Bombers.
Back inside St. Xavier territory. Cardinals will be setting up here at the St. Xavier 49-yard line. Second and about 11. Justin Cummings checks back in. They've been rotating tight ends as well as wide receivers. And the Cardinals coming out in that familiar look. Mimes going to get the quick pitch. He's got 2 men to beat, and man, he just hits through. There is a penalty marker. We're either going to have an illegal block in the back, as Steve Specht is saying to his defense, you have to come up. It's a block or a hold back on about the 48-yard line.
I'll tell you right now, Dave, penalties are a big, big part of this game. Both teams not traditionally a huge penalized team, but right now there's been a bunch, and it's been, you know, luckily for the Bombers, they've gotten a few, because or else there might be up 2 scores right now. Going to send them back across the 50-yard line here.
So they're going to take that ball back to the 43-yard line, and this will bring up third, and it looks like about 18 or so. Or correction, second and 18. Williams calling out signals. Man in motion is number 30, Curtis Jester.
They got the reverse.
Nice reverse. That's the play there to number 5, Chris Davis. Davis breaks the tackle. Daniels finally drives him out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Rocky, we talked about execution at the beginning of the game, and we'll see the replay here.
Yeah, the Cardinals try to get a big play here. Bombers are in position there, but got to make this tackle right there. He does a nice job lowering that shoulder, keeping those feet driving, and Stephen Daniels saves a touchdown.
Davis just drove Sean Ahern into the ground. Sean had come up to make the tackle, and it would be about 3rd and maybe 6 or 7. Instead, looking at 3rd and about 4 from the St. Xavier 42-yard line.
Big play for the Bombers defense right here, Dave. They got to hold him right here, set the tone.
Quick pitch. St. Xavier is not able to cut the line. Duggan went to the wrong spot, and Aaron knocks him down at about the 29-yard line. If your linebackers read the wrong shot there, Rocky, it looks like what's happening is Curtis Jester able to just go through. Watch this on the replay.
And again, some nice down-the-field blocking right there. Right, you'll see Justin Cummins, a tight end, right there, making a nice block there. And like you said, that down-the-field blocking by the Cardinals is very, very effective right now. Get another big-time first down.
Duggan came up, shot through the hole, but shot through a little bit on the inside. Jester took it outside, and the Cardinals will have 1st and 10 at the St. Xavier 29-yard line. The Cardinals now with over 100 yards in this first quarter. St. Xavier on the negative side. Williams on the run. Nice block out in front, and a good job there by Jake Rumpke, number 6, as he got through the blocker and got to the quarterback.
That was an excellent play. That's about as good as it gets right there. Jake Rumpke fights off the blocker, you'll see right there, and still able to make the tackle. That's a big-time play.
2nd down and about 9 yards to go. The Cardinals have worked the clock to their advantage here in confidence. But on the other hand, we talked about that chip on your shoulder, and the Cardinals said they've been waiting a long time, and they are unleashing that fury early here against St. Xavier.
They really are. All their whole offense is playing a great game. You're seeing some great speed, some great blocking. Really playing well as a unit here tonight, and it's working for them.
We talked about execution, and one of those things is St. Xavier is missing tackles. Their men are getting there, and as you said, one-on-one is great if you make the tackle. If you don't, long runs occur, and we're starting to see that a little bit.
You're exactly right, and you can draw up the perfect defense and have the perfect play, but at the end of the day, if you don't make the tackle, it doesn't matter what you're running.
3rd down, about 9 yards to go. Williams going to look for the pass. He's going to pull it down, going to try to cut back. Gets through 2 men, and finally is knocked down on the play. Sort of a slip, sort of a knockdown by number 53, E.J. Parchment. 4th down and about 8, and I believe that we may see Tommy Butke come in, because a 2-score lead in a game like this becomes incredibly important.
Right, especially with just we're gonna tick off the quarter here probably after this kick.
Budke will attempt it from the 34-yard line. That will make it a 44-yard kick. He was converting these very easily early on. Did St. Xavier jump offside? I guess they got back onside, and this one looks long enough, and it is good. Budke on the 44-yard field goal for the Cardinals. 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It's Colerain 10 and St. Xavier 0. A 12-play drive at about 31 yards. They used up about 5 minutes on the clock. And Rocky, right now, the Bombers with 2 minutes of possession, and the Cardinals with 9 minutes and about 46 seconds. And that's the way this first quarter has gone. Statistics aren't lying here.
You're exactly, and a lot of times they say the best defense is keeping the other team's offense on the sideline, and that's what you're seeing right now. Able to be so consistent with that run, keeping that clock going. And like you said, the Bombers haven't had many opportunities on offense here tonight.
So Budke will be kicking off here. Back deep for the Bombers will be number 2, Jake Rodbeck. And I believe number 40, Andrew Aaron, who is one of the fastest Bombers on the field. St. Xavier would like to get a nice run back. Rodbeck got about a 24, 25-yard run back on the first return. And they'd like to get some good field position, because the Cardinals put them in negative yardage their last series.
You're right, Dave. They need a spark right now, and what a better opportunity than on special teams. We'll see if they do anything
Squib
with
kick.
it.
Aaron looking for an alleyway. May have went to the wrong alleyway. They gave him the one right up on the sidelines. He kept coming outside a little bit too much east and west, not enough north and south. He'll get it out across the 22-yard line. Looked like he had a seam earlier on.
Yeah, he kind of, like you said, went a little bit too much east and west. Couldn't put that foot in the ground and get vertical there. And they'll get the ball just about the 22-yard line there.
St. Xavier went backwards on the first drive. Max James being sacked in the backfield. Connor Hunley being hit. Max James on a little bit of a trip. Running the football got you here. Perhaps they're going to do a little bit of an option. They're going to have to find out some way to slow down those linebackers. We'll see what happens. Doubles to the top. Hunley out on the wing. James looking to run up the middle, and James will take it forward. He'll get positive yardage until he runs into the middle of that defense, as Blust along with Bolden and Grace all coming in, and that will be the final play of the first quarter. After 1, it's Colerain 10 and St. Xavier 0. Rocky, your thoughts on quarter number 1?
Well, like you said, it's been all Cardinals all night here tonight. Bombers need to get some sort of drive going here, and I think the key is going to be getting Max James going. The last 2 weeks, he's been kind of the X factor in being the real spark to this offense. Going to have to get him going here. Hopefully he can break off a nice run and get some momentum, get some energy going in that team over there.
Now, one of the things you talked about is that if any of the teams really had to pass, that could be difficult for them. St. Xavier did get a passing attack going against the Lancers, but this is a little bit of what was going on, and we're going to take a little break here, and so we'll be back after these messages on the Waycross Community Media Network.
Hey, son. So, you're turning 13, becoming a man. Your hormones are surging, starting to notice the girls. You know, maybe your body's doing some funny things. So, you want to talk? Or we could talk about drugs.
Yeah, let's talk about drugs.
There's no wrong way to talk to your kids about drugs, but you'll need to be ready. We can help. Visit our website at drugfree.org.
We're back as the second quarter begins here at Nippert Stadium. It's second down. It's now going to be penalty whistled against St. Xavier. The Bombers' procedure there. It'll be second down and about 13 as Max James had gained 2 yards. Both teams being penalized here in this
Yeah, and that's not what the Bombers need right now. Haven't been able to get much going on offense, and then you throw a penalty on top of it, making it a 2nd and 15, definitely at a disadvantage here.
Man coming in, motion for St. Xavier. Fake handoff there. James going to run. He's going to try to get outside, and that is a very fast Colerain team as he's knocked down there by the Cardinals, number 92, and that was Jared Montgomery. So Montgomery on the tackle, helped out there by number 44, Jared Grace. And statistics in the first quarter don't lie, and we'll take a look at those. But right now, St. Xavier coming up with about a 3rd and 12 as James got back some of the yardage. St. Xavier right now on the negative yardage here in the first half on offense. Doubles down low here on the side. That's Trey Kilgore in the outside position. Ballinger coming in motion. James is going to roll to his right. He's got room. He's got a man open. Hits Ballinger, and Ballinger is quickly knocked out of bounds by that fast linebacking core. That's number 17, Mikhail Washington on the stop. St. Xavier picked up a few yards there, rock to the 25, and they may have to throw the ball to move the football.
You're exactly right. When there's where that key offsides penalty comes into play, might have been able to pick up a first down there, but now going to have to punt. But like you said, maybe they got something there. And that's what an offense does in their first 10, 15 plays. They're going to try some things, see what's going to work. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see more of that pass here tonight.
Gradone.
Oh,
fumble, and let's see who's on it. Number 5, Chris Davis, get back on it. It came forward, and I do believe that the Bombers have the football, but we haven't seen the official signal yet. But St. Xavier is saying they've got it. We talked about special teams play. Let's watch this replay here.
And that was unfortunate. It looked like he was just trying to run before he had the ball secured, and the Bombers needed some sort of break, something good to happen, and here's their opportunity. They must take advantage of this here right now.
So Chris Gradone's punt becomes the best offensive play for the Bombers. It is fumbled on the play by Chris Davis. Falling on it for the Bombers is number 10, Sean Duggan. Checking into the game for St. Xavier, we have a new quarterback, and that, I believe, is number 15, Griffin Dolly, who has checked in for the Bombers. So James going to the sideline. They'll take a look at Dolly. He ran the offense last week as well. Handoff to Hunley. A little bit of a delay on that handoff. Hunley had to bowl his way through, but he got some positive yardage to about the 35-yard line. We'll call that a pickup of 3, 2nd and 7.
And again, Connor Hunley going to have to get going here, and that's a nice run. We talked about last week. He does such a nice job of always spinning forward and getting positive yards. Does a nice job there. And I wouldn't be surprised here with seeing Griffin Dolly at quarterback. He's more of the passing quarterback here, Dave, so maybe we'll see if that turns out to be the case if they go to the air a little bit more with Griffin Dolly at quarterback.
They've got Kilgore out far to the left. Milligan coming in motion. Handoff to Hunley. He's got a little bit of room, but again, quickly knocked down there by that linebacking core. But he'll get it down to about the 32-yard line. 3rd and about 3 or 4. This is basically 4-down territory for St. Xavier, being behind 10-0. So let's see what the coaching staff calls here.
Definitely, I think they're gonna stick with the running attack here. Connor Hunley last week with a season-high 32 rushes. He's probably just now getting his wind and his health back from that game. He definitely carried him last week.
He is a horse. Looking to blitz here. There is going to be a penalty, and St. Xavier will get their first down of the game via the penalty on the offside call or encroachment whistled against the Cardinals, and St. Xavier will take over 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 28-yard line.
Yeah, that was the linebacker Joe Bolden here. Another, we talked about the linebacking core, great player. Just kind of got a little antsy there and jumped off sides. Joe Bolden is actually the son of Colerain Athletic Director Dan Bolden. And a good player. I think he definitely has next level opportunity to play here.
A lot of men in this game, I agree with you, have that, and he may be one of them. Looks like St. Xavier may have jumped there. Huntley's got a little seam, and again, just reaching an arm out there to stop him, but he's down inside the 15-yard line. So Connor.
Yeah, nice job here. Sticks that foot in the ground. Nice job blocking by that O-line here. They did such a nice job last week. Looks like they're getting that momentum going here a little bit. Got a nice drive there. Nice run by Connor Huntley.
Connor Huntley on the pickup for St. Xavier, 13 yards and another Bomber first down. Smith saved the touchdown. Huntley's got a hole. He's going to take it to the house. 15 yards and the St. Xavier touchdown. It's the Cardinals 10, the Bombers 6. We talked about turnovers, Rocky, and that one came back to bite the Cardinals on that fumbled punt.
And he could have drove a truck through that hole right there. He had a nice hole, nice job blocking offensive line. That looked exactly like a play last week. They had such success against LaSalle, run right up the middle, right in those A-gaps up there. Offensive line does the job. Connor Huntley in the end zone. Bombers back in this game.
15 yards on the St. Xavier touchdown. Duggan looking the extra point. Snap was high, and he missed it to the left. We talked about extra points can sometimes come back to haunt teams. Colerain had that extra point against Elder that went awry, and here St. Xavier has one go awry. But Steve Specht and the Bombers have to be happy with the fact that they only had to take the ball on about a 30-yard run there to pick that up. And coach going to talk to Duggan and say, look, get your head in the game. I need you defensively. 8:45 remaining this second quarter. Colerain 10, St. Xavier 6, and a big break there for the St. Xavier Bombers.
Definitely. I'm looking down at Colerain's sideline right now at Coach Tom Bolden. He's very upset. He knew he had the Bombers on the ropes there. They get that turnover there on the punt. Go down. Bombers got new life here. It's a ball game here now, Dave.
A 4-play, 39-yard drive for St. Xavier that used 1 minute and 51 seconds. So St. Xavier will be kicking off from the 40-yard line. And the Bomber defense is going to have to show they can stop this Cardinal offense, perhaps without the help of a penalty. But that was a drive that gets you back a little confidence. It says, hey, we're in this game as well. And so maybe they're getting up after being knocked around in that first quarter, coming back here in quarter two.
We're exactly right. And a playoff especially are a lot about momentum. You need that momentum going into the playoffs and definitely in the game here. Bombers got a little more life. Let's see if that life transfers over to the defense here and they start playing the way they've been all year.
It'd be great if he could kick it into the end zone here, but they're going to try a squib, maybe try to slow him down. Fumbled a little bit. There is a huge gap on the right-hand side of the field, and what a shot made there, but he got up off of it. What a hit there put on by Connor Busick on the play, but that play's going to come out to about the 25-yard line. Watch this replay here.
It kind of looks like he mishit that ball. I don't think he was trying to squib it like that.
Jester's going to pick it up, and then watch this connection here. This looks like one of your highlights.
There you go. These are the hits as a defender you dream about. Boom, I'll tell you what, nice job staying on his feet there, though. You can see why he's a formidable runner for the Cardinals.
1st and 10. The Cardinals find themselves at their own 24-yard line. They put 121 yards on the board in a little over a quarter. Slips in the backfield and then gets driven down. That's Curtis Jester. The Bombers were there. Connor Busick on the play. Is St. Xavier starting to figure the schemes out?
I think they are. You're seeing they're kind of settling in. That's one thing they've done all year. St. Xavier has such a great coaching staff. Both these teams have great coaching staffs. But St. Xavier over the course of the year has been able to make adjustments, and that's been definitely a key for them, and we'll see if they keep it up here tonight.
Williams will call out the signals. Again, constant rotation by the Cardinals. There'll be an I backfield here, so give the Bombers something to think about. Williams looking to come left. He's running left. Williams has got some room there, and then he's driven down on the play. And what's happening here is Jake Rumpke came up. They're finally getting some push forward from that defensive line.
Exactly. And that's what you need to do. You need to drive those linemen back and kind of create some separation so those guys just can't turn that corner. You see right there, Tyler Williams having to bow back a little bit. And that allows you the rest of your defenders, the rest of your defense. Nice job. Jake Rumpke come up with the tackle. That's a big-time play right there.
3rd down and about 12 yards to go from the 24-yard line. St. Xavier trying to keep momentum here in this game as the Bombers trying to hold on here, keep the Cardinals from getting this 1st down. Davis goes in motion. Williams fakes. Williams trying to come back, and Duggan's right there to take him down. And Williams will get marked on the loss on the play. There is a penalty marker and a little bit of extracurricular activity there, and I believe we may have a unsportsmanlike conduct coming up here as a helmet came off and some activities that shouldn't happen began to occur. St. Xavier was clapping on the play, so they believe it must be against Colerain, and that's what it looks like it is. Player personnel foul.
Wow, and this is big for the Bombers here. They're going to get some really, really nice field position. Do a nice job here on defense. Sean Duggan, great job there with the tackle. Tell you what, he's been a great player this year for the Bombers. He himself, he's a 2nd leading tackler for the Bombers with 48. Got half a sack and a bunch of tackles for loss himself.
So Joe Bowden, number 7, the linebacker, checks back into punt formation. Will St. Xavier bring the house as they've got him back at about 4th and 25. Last thing they want is a penalty. That is a great kick. Rumpke going to have to catch it over his shoulder, back on his own 45-yard line. Or correction, that is Jake Brodbeck. Brodbeck across the 25 to the 30, and Jake Brodbeck takes it down to the Cardinal 24-yard line. A 31-yard return for number 2, Jake Brodbeck. The Bombers in great field position here.
The Bombers have come to life here, Dave, in the last few minutes. Nice job. They got a deep kick there. And I think the Cardinals wanted a block in the back, but it looks like he got the head across the bow. Nice job. And before that play, you could see Cardinal coach Tom Bolden extremely upset at that personal foul, saying, look, you just cost our team another 15 yards. And now we see with the Bombers again with great field position.
Dowling remains in at quarterback. Hundley gets the handoff. Hundley looking to cut back up the middle, and Connor Hundley. And Rocky, it looks like misdirection now coming for St. Xavier. Anything to slow down that pursuit of the Cardinal linebackers.
You're absolutely right, and that was a nice block there by number 79, Jack Woodhull. Offensive line now seeming to get going. At the beginning of the game, they weren't doing much. Now they're getting pushing some guys around, moving that line of scrimmage, and that's going to be the key tonight.
2nd down and about 4 yards to go. Dolly calling out the signals for the Bombers. He's got Kilgore, single coverage up on top. That's a matchup the Bombers may like. Hand off to Hundley, and they quickly pinch him down. And that will bring up about a 3rd and I'm going to say 3 yards, depending where they mark it for St. Xavier, or a long 2. And a good stop there by the Cardinal defense.
Yeah, that was a nice job there. They're going to try to get stout here in the red zone. Bombers this year haven't been, terrific in the red zone. They're at 28%.
Kilgore going to the top of your screen. Milligan in the slot. Ballinger down on the far or near sideline in the deepest position for St. Xavier. Dolly's going to run it. Griffin Dolly's got room. Griffin Dolly, 16 yards, and the St. Xavier touchdown. The Bombers 12, the Cardinals 10. St. Xavier has come off the mat with 12 points here in the 2nd quarter.
And the Cardinals are stunned right now, absolutely stunned. They had to feel they had this game in control right now, but the Bombers have come out of nowhere and put 2 scores on the board. Man, nice job there. Getting this thing back.
Sorry about that, Coach. Critical extra point here for Sean Duggan. He booted the last one far to the left off of a high snap. That one's down. Kick looks right through, and he does convert it. St. Xavier 13, Colerain 10, and so a field goal right now would tie it up for the Cardinals rather than give them the lead. Great punt return by Brodbeck. We said special teams may do something. Watch the run here by Dolly.
Nice job, like you said before, with the misdirection there. Got some good blocking. Griffin Dolly showing some speed and some running ability. Max James has been the running quarterback this year, but Griffin Dolly there, nice job tucking it.
They don't call him Crazy Legs for nothing. He said, my nickname? I said, Crazy Legs. Explain it to me. And he goes, I try to get going, and it just takes me a while, so I look like I'm going this way, but I'm really going that way. St. Xavier with 13 points here in this 2nd quarter. They were down 10-0 in the 1st quarter. The Cardinals had 121 yards. The Bombers had -11. Colerain now with 116. St. Xavier with 54. But because of field position, the Bombers with a 13-10 lead as Sean Duggan prepares to kick off here.
And the special teams has really been a difference here tonight. You saw with the fumbled punt by the Cardinals earlier, allowed the Bombers to get on board, and then a nice punt return before by Jake Broadbeck. It's been the key.
Duggan looking to kick off here for the Bombers. Last time he squibbed it a little bit. This time he gets it high in the air. Takes it back on about the 4-yard line. This is number 5, Chris Davis. Davis finds himself swarmed under by a host of St. Xavier Bombers. I believe Rothman was there first, and then coming in for St. Xavier, I think that was number 50 for the Bombers, and I believe that would be Nate Gerbis.
I'll tell you what, nice job here by special teams coach Tim Banker. Looks like they kicked that ball, call this the coffin corner kick. Look at that, right? Nice job right there about the 5-yard line. No blockers around there. The Bombers get down the field, get a nice tackle. Field position critical inside the 10-yard line, Dave.
The Cardinals have not turned it over very many times on offense. They've turned it over, though, on special team tonight. And now St. Xavier has had 13 straight points. How does the Cardinal offense respond? It looks like they're going to try to take it wide. They are with Williams. He's got a little bit of a seam. And Tyler Williams does not seem that big, but he is really shaking and baking his way through some St. Xavier tackles here.
I'll tell you what, Dave, he is about 5'6", 155 pounds, soaking wet, but man, he is fast, quick. He keeps us, you see right there, spinning, turning, doing whatever he has to do. Like you said before the game, he talked about in the paper, coming in this game with a chip on his shoulder. You have to believe if they're going to get back in this game, he's going to have to be the main factor in this ball game here for the Cardinals.
He got away from Stephen Daniels on that play. That speaks volumes. Davis on the run. He's met by a couple of players. Eric Kirkshin, that's Chris Mimes, number 2, coming from his wide receiver position. Rumpke comes up number 6. Jake Rumpke's made some good reads tonight.
He's made some nice reads, and they have made some great adjustments on defense. It seems like 2 different teams out there right now. They've kind of figured this running attack out a little bit and really putting the pressure on the Cardinal offense.
Ben Shear, number 42, the junior tight end, checks in for the Cardinals. 3rd down and about 4. They've had men open when they've sent them out in passing formation. Williams calling out signals. Williams going to come here to the left. Duggan taken on by his defender. Williams will get that marked over the 21-yard line to about the 22. That will be enough for a 1st down. Sean Duggan did everything he possibly could do, but great blocking on the wing there by the Cardinals.
It was a nice job. I'll tell you what, it was a nice job by Jake Broadbeck there. I don't know if we'll get the replay, but kind of fought off the block there and was able to force him out of bounds.
1st and 10. 4:07 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. The Cardinals on their drive now, picking up the 1st down. Williams having 2 of the carries on that drive. Durham has not gotten the ball in a while, and so he'll get it here. Durham's got a seam, and Daniels will pull him down on about the 27-yard line. And that's a young man, Trayon Durham, who's done a good job tonight when he's got the football.
He really has. He's a 2nd leading rusher on this team, and you'll see right here, he had a little bit of a crease. He's a big kid, about 6'2", about 245. Able to get those legs churning there, and Stephen Daniels with the tackle. But definitely Durham is a key running back here in this Cardinal offense.
2nd down and about 3. Durham with 7 carries in the game for 35 yards. Handoff coming here. There's one man to beat, and there's a big hole, and Durham sheds him. He'll get up to about the 45-yard line, and that is why he has so many yards. St. Xavier not wrapping tonight, and part of that is these backs are just good stiff arms here.
Yeah, you're right in there. And said a big kid, you'll see Stephen Daniels come up on the tackle, but their most sure tackler, and he bounces right off. And like we talked about, you can be in the right position, but if you don't tackle, the best defense in the world isn't going to work.
1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. That was a 16-yard pickup by Durham. Williams going to pass. He's got a man down the stripe, down the middle, and he threw it too far over the head of number 5, Chris Davis. I thought he was going down the middle because they had one open there. But the man on the far sideline, much more open, Coach.
Yeah, they ran a guy down the seam and then a guy right down the sideline. They caught him in cover 2, and Broadbeck was kind of hung out to dry. He didn't know which way to go. And they went to the right receiver, just a little bit out of his reach there. So you see, definitely with that change, kind of like a pitcher throwing that change up. The Cardinals got to do a good job doing that, making the Bombers at least respect that passing attack.
2nd and 10. St. Xavier lucky that one went long. Look there. Oh, what a tackle on the play by St. Xavier as number 30 and number 50, Sean Ahern, Nate Gerbis come together. We're going to have a penalty marker on the play. And let's see what this is going to be called here.
Anxious to see what this could possibly be. Nice job tackling
we're
there.
Come up here with, and it looks like illegal block in the back. See if you can pick this one up, Coach.
Couldn't really see. Yeah, you see it right there. Guy came in trying to got Ahern in the back there a little bit. He was still able to make the tackle.
He maybe he helped him get into
I was
the
going to say,
tackle.
he might have forced him into the tackle.
Ball will be marked back on the 33-yard line. Bad luck for the Cardinals. And so it'll be second down and about 21 yards to go. Penalties have hurt the Cardinals here in the first half. 2:54 remaining, and remember the Cardinals have already burned 2 of their timeouts, so the clock not working in their favor here. Clock ticking down to about 4 seconds, and he's going to have to be aware of this and take a quick snap here, and they do. Williams looking to run. Williams on the pitch, and nice tackle on the outside by Rumpke as he takes down Chris Mimes.
Rumpke is having a game tonight, Dave. Nice job there. He has had about 3 tackles for loss here.
Good
nice
job
play
there by Rumpke. We'll see it here.
He pulls the ball there. You see right at the end there with the pitch. Good option football there. Stephen Daniels playing it well. Jake Rumpke with the tackle. Nice play.
Did that look like a little bit of a pulling of the jersey on Daniels there?
Yeah.
But you know what? It's tough to see everything, and these guys are doing a good job keeping this game in control. It'll be third down and about 25 yards to go. Might they try to do a reverse or a trick play? They're going to look for Williams to pass. He's got a man one-on-one with the Rand, and good job by Andrew Rand and by number 2, Jake Broadbeck. It looks like they scissored him there, Rocky, and a good job by St. Xavier.
They did a nice job. The corner, Broadbeck got deep on him there, and Rand came over. The safety.
I was a little surprised by that, in that I thought maybe they would try a reverse or something like that. Again, they've got receivers there, but a good job by the Bombers. Bolden will go back in punt formation. He had a huge kick last time, but a great return by number 2, Jake Broadbeck. St. Xavier wanted to try to win the special teams battle. Boy, they were bringing people here, so Broadbeck's on his own on about his 37. Gets through the first group and then is swarmed under by a host of players on about the 47-yard line. And so St. Xavier with a 13-10 lead. Statistically, the Cardinals with 146 yards, the Bombers with 60. But on the point total, that's where St. Xavier has the lead.
Well, and it's been the turnover there on the punt and some good pickup yardage there in the punt return game for the Bombers. And a very big opportunity for St. Xavier right now. 1:40 on the clock. They got 3 timeouts left here, Dave. A good scoring opportunity. Let's see if they take advantage.
And they have good field position. They will be getting the ball in the third quarter. So let's see how Coach Speck and his offensive coordinators decide to call the rest of this first half. Ballinger going in motion. Yep, Hunley jumped in the backfield, and this will be a 5-yard mark off against St. Xavier. It was very interesting on that call there because the Bombers had flooded a zone, and had they not jumped, they may have had the opportunity to throw that one deep.
I was going to say, I think they're going to try to put that play in their back pocket there. They might have had something, but an unfortunate penalty going to make it 1st and 15 now.
Penalties have not been kind to the Bomber offense, as it puts them in positions that it's been a little bit more daunting to overcome. Griffin Dolly, number 15, has been at the helm much of this second quarter, where St. Xavier has scored. Connor Hunley, 8 carries, 40 yards. That's not unusual for Connor. Those are the kind of numbers that help St. Xavier win. Going to fire it to Kilgore. Kilgore on the reception, and Kilgore will get it up to about the 48-yard line. So that will be about a good 7-yard pickup. Let's call it second down and about 8. Actually, they're going to put him up on the 49-yard line. Let's call it 2nd and 7, so an 8-yard pickup.
Griffin Dolly took over at quarterback about halfway through the season. I'll tell you what, he's a very efficient passer, very precise with the ball. Not a huge arm, but he puts that ball where it needs to be, and it's up to receivers to catch it.
And he's really gained confidence. Hunley gets a hole off the guard and tackle. Hunley going down to the 34. 5 men on him, and Connor Hunley gets ripped back to the 35-yard line. The St. Xavier coaching staff is saying, get up on the line. And let's call a few plays here. The Bombers still with 3 timeouts remaining. 1:01 left to go.
You'll see there's a big run right here. Again, offensive line doing a nice job. And here's what's impressive. Connor Huntley right there. 3 guys on him, 4. He picks up another 6-8 yards after contact there.
Got to credit Patrick Ahern, Brandon Cook, and Jack Woodall. Pass going to come to about the 30-yard line. And they were going out on Jarrett Grace's side, and that's just not going to happen on his watch.
No, he's a great linebacker here. One of the better high school linebackers that's been around in the city of Cincinnati. While going to my alma mater, Notre Dame.
Second down and about 6 yards to go. 35 seconds remaining. Handoff to Hunley. He's going to be stuffed. Do the Bombers call a timeout? I think they should.
They're going to have to.
They're going to have to, and Steve Specht is going to look at that, and he is going to take a timeout as it's going to be 3rd down and about 7. So let's see what they do here. St. Xavier coming off the mat here in the second half, and the Bombers able to put some more yardage on the board here.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here, Dave. See if they go to the pass, being about 3rd down and 6. See if they go to pass, try to get a little bit better field position to kick a field goal, or see if they try to punch it in here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of run also. At least get the ball to the middle of the field, give you a little bit better angle for that field goal here.
This would be a long one for
Sean Duggan. He already has 10. The missed extra point. You know,
you got 2 timeouts, so I mean they may give it a shot depending how long they take that clock down. The last thing they want is a block. Connor Hunley now with 10 runs for 58 yards, and he has become the leading rusher in the ball game. We talked about execution, and we talked about Hunley having to run, Williams having to run. Williams 13 for 36. Durham 8 for 51. Davis 5 for 49. The Cardinals are running, but so is Connor Hunley. The blitz is coming. Nice shovel pass on the inside. Ballinger on her. Milligan on the move. Kevin Milligan will be driven out of bounds on about the 9-yard line. Now that's the shovel pass that brings back memories as number 82, Kevin Milligan, whose brother plays here at the University of Cincinnati, takes it down to the 9-yard line.
That was a great call right there. Don't think the Cardinals were expecting this one right here. Schneiber almost had a great tackle right there. Luckily, he gets away from his own man. Bombers with a great opportunity here.
1st and goal from the 9-yard line. 19 seconds remaining here in the first half. Fake handoff on the inside. Crazy Legs trying to get it inside. He'll get it down to about the 7. St. Xavier going to let that clock run. Let's see if Steve Specht's going to take a timeout. He's working with the official. He's telling him that he wants a timeout with 1 second remaining, and he's going to get it with 2 seconds remaining. So St. Xavier over there on that right hash mark, 2 seconds remaining. They've got 113 yards now in the game. The Cardinals with 146. So that means St. Xavier with 120 yards roughly in the second quarter. The Cardinals with 25. The momentum is swung to the men in white.
It definitely has. They needed a spark, and they got it going here. All 3 phases of the Bombers doing a nice job. And they'd like to get 3 points here heading into halftime.
Well, if they can get 3 here, then they'll get the ball to start the 3rd quarter, and you've got to like that going on, especially since it looked like they were dead in the water. And perhaps one of the biggest plays so far for St. Xavier was that nice punt by Gradone, and then the fumble by the Cardinals. St. Xavier fell on it, and since that time they punched it in, and they've looked like a different ball club out there. They've caught their breath, so to speak. But as you said, both of these teams very well coached. Steve Specht and Tom Boland, the utmost of respect for one another. As a matter of fact, so much respect that the Cardinals and the Bombers will be a home-and-home series for the next 2 years, and they're even talking about extending that out. Ball is going to be placed down on about the 14-yard line. Sean Duggan. There is going to be a timeout, I believe, taken by Colerain here. They're going to try to ice him, and actually this may just give St. Xavier a little bit more time to set up what they want to do. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. I never thought the icing of the kicker thing was really that much of an advantage, and you've seen even at the college and pro level, the coach calling the timeout right as he kicks it, and sometimes it works and they miss it, and then you get another opportunity, and sometimes it works the other way. But right now, I think Bolden is going to be. I think Bolden's the Cardinal coach. Halftime coming up at a good opportunity right now. Going to go in, try to get this team settled down a little bit, and say, hey, let's get back to what we were doing here at the beginning of the game. and not get to panic a little bit. So we'll see what happens here with the kick as we head into halftime.
A tale of two quarters. The Cardinals looked awesome in the first. The Bombers have looked awesome here in the second. There's 2 seconds remaining. Duggan trying to take the kick here for St. Xavier. Gradone will hold. This would be for a 6-point St. Xavier lead. They missed an extra point earlier. Shot is going to go through the uprights. Didn't look pretty, but it went through. That will be the final play of the first half. The St. Xavier Bombers 16, the Colerain Cardinals 10. We'll take a quick look at this replay that sums up the Bombers scoring drive. Duggan got the hit through there. And
kind of the theme of the game. Not pretty, but it worked, and that's all that matters. Very key right now, like you said, Bombers going with a 6-point lead, and then they get the ball coming out here to start the third quarter. Steve Speck and the Bombers have to feel real good about their position right now.
We'll be back after these messages on the Waycross Community Network.
Like what you see? Do you want to see more programs like this? Well, check out waycross.tv for this program and others like these.
Coming home can be hard if you're a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. You may feel like you're all alone, but you're not alone. At IAVA.org, your fellow vets are all around you. Join our free online community, get the resources you need, and connect to other vets who know where you're coming from. IAVA.org. We've got your back.
Check, check. Test. Check.
Check.
Come on, buddy. Let's go.
Dad, did you ever do drugs?
Well, yeah, I did, and it was a dumb thing to do. But no one ever talked to me about it. My dad never talked to me about it.
Talking to your kids about drugs can be tough, so you'll need to be ready. For help, visit our website at drugfree.org.
We're back at Nippert Stadium, where the St. Xavier Bombers, with an excellent second quarter, have taken a 16-10 lead over the Colerain Cardinals. I'm Dave Eby. I'm joined by Rocky Boyman. Coach, your thoughts on that first half?
I'll tell you what, I think the big factor right now has been St. Xavier's ability to make some adjustments. It looked a little scary for the Bombers the first beginning of the game there. The Cardinal offense was running at will. They made some nice adjustments there on defense with some things they did, and it was a difference in the game right now. The momentum is definitely in their favor.
You said it was a game of momentum, and I thought the fumbled punt really worked well in St. Xavier's favor, because from that point on, statistically, the Bombers began to climb back into this game.
Absolutely, especially in the playoffs. A lot of times you need kind of a spark to happen, and the Bombers need it more than anybody right now. That was the big play, and after that play, all the momentum, everything has been in the Bombers' favor.
As we look down at your keys to the game, your first key was both teams had to run the football well. Give grades to both teams on that.
Yeah, both teams are running the ball well. You know, the Bomber defense has made a little bit of adjustments and done a better job, but both teams run the ball well. Time of possession is definitely in Colerain's favor here, with almost twice the amount of time. But yeah, but again, there you'll see as we look at the stats there on the TV. I'll tell you what, Dave, one of the big things is penalties right now. Kind of been a factor for both teams, but especially have killed the Cardinals on some nice runs they've had, have been turned back because of the penalties.
Adjustments at halftime as we look ahead. Both of these coaches know one another well. They've worked at clinics. They've done a couple games and stuff together. And so one of the things that we could be looking at here is that both of them might be making adjustments. In your mind, what's Tom Bolton saying to the Cardinals?
I think what he's saying to them right now is let's kind of relax a little bit. We got a great team. We're a fast team. We've put up gigantic offensive numbers this whole year here. We kind of gotten a little bit of funk there with the fumbled punts and things like that. Let's go back to doing what we do. We run the ball well. We run a very efficient offense. Let's get back to that. I think that's what his message at halftime.
Well, you said they put up a lot of points, and you see the bracket there for the OHSAA Region 4. The Cardinals putting up 42 points against Hamilton in a game that was very close early on. St. Xavier putting up 30 points against the Lancers when they unleashed a new offense. Tonight, Wayne versus Centerville, Colerain and St. Xavier here. A lot of points on that board.
Absolutely, and I think one thing that's going to be key for the Bombers here is tackling. They've been in some great position, but haven't tackled particularly well here tonight. Obviously, with those great offensive weapons that the Cardinals have, obviously a problem, but I think that's one message to say, hey, look, we're in position. Let's be sure on our tackles here. And again, we see the there we see the St. Xavier band, and the Bombers getting the ball to come out of here into the second half here. I think it's key that they come down and make something out of this opportunity.
Well, and I think one of the things we also looked at, we talked about great linebacking by both teams. And one of those situations, I believe, is that St. Xavier did some misdirection in the second quarter, and those Cardinal linebackers basically, were over pursuing, and St. Xavier may have adjusted that way.
Definitely. That's one thing you want to do, in my experience in playing. If you have a fast team, you want to use that speed against them. Like you said, with that misdirection thing, you get guys over pursuing. Very athletic, very fast, but if you get them going in the wrong direction, sometimes you can create problems and trick them that way.
We talked about execution to special teams, and St. Xavier is piling up some good yardage, both on punt as well as kick returns.
They really are. Special teams has definitely been the difference here today, and we'll see. They're going to receive the ball here to open up.
And there's the Cardinal trying to fire up the Colerain crowd. There's the Colerain band. They performed at halftime. You saw that being filmed by members of Waycross Community Media. The St. Xavier band was also out there. These are two very proud football communities. How's that play in as we go into the second half?
Well, this is kind of the GCL versus the public school, and like you said, both teams fans very into this game. They know what this matchup means here, and I think the Cardinals right now, they definitely need to do something, anything, to get some kind of spark, to get some energy back onto their team right now.
Tommy Budke, a very high kick. Clearly, they want to go at Andrew Aran, number 40, and Aran, the adjuster for the Bombers, takes it out over the 30-yard line to about the 31. So a little bit different strategy by the Cardinals kicking off this week as opposed to last week when Hamilton broke the big one.
Yeah, exactly. They had a problem last week. Hamilton, not much offense in that game, but did break a 75-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And you have to believe that, especially to open up the second half here, they weren't going to take any chances and kick that ball deep. They wanted to get them down, even get the ball to the 30-yard line. No problem here. Don't give them a big play to start the second half.
Kilgore, who had one reception in the first half, is on the near sideline. Inside of him is Milligan in the slot. Griffin Dolly fakes the handoff to Hunley. Dolly going to fire outside here, and that is a great catch, and what a good call on first down for St. Xavier as they hit number 83, and that would be Ryan Brady.
Actually, it was Rob Dorger, the tight end. Yeah, number 93.
93.
I'll tell you what, he's been kind of quiet the last few weeks, especially with the Bomber running attack being so well. He did a nice job this year. He has 11 receptions for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns this year. I'd like to see it get him going.
St. Xavier likes to go to their tight ends. Years where the Bombers have advanced deep into the playoffs, it's because their tight ends have been catching the football. Handoff here to Hundley. Hundley going to try to bowl his way ahead, and he's met at the line of scrimmage, but he'll pick up about 3 yards. So after the pickup to Robbie Durger for 17 yards, Connor Hundley picks up 3 yards here, and the Bombers find themselves at midfield.
There it is, the play right up the middle there. Nice tackle there, but again, Bombers get a few yards. You talk about tight ends. St. Xavier missing Joe Nizer. He was a good tight end for him. He had a lot of production at him. He was hurt, unfortunately, in the Elder game. But Rob Dorger picking up the slack at a tight end position.
Second down, about 7 yards to go from midfield. Dolly going to try to get outside. Eludes one, eludes two. Dolly will pick up the first down. I like the way he got down because St. Xavier doesn't want to have to go to the third-string quarterback.
You're exactly right. And Griffin Dolly looking like Red Grange out there running with the ball. He's got them crazy legs going. Doing a nice job for him. Gets to the corner, shows a little bit of speed. And like you said, securing that ball, not doing nothing crazy. Last thing the Bombers want right now is a turnover.
Joe Bolden, the linebacker, getting out to finally take him down there, but the chains move for St. Xavier. 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 42-yard line. The Bombers would like to put points on the board beginning the third quarter, and Connor Hundley goes off guard in between guard and tackle. He'll get it down to the 39. The St. Xavier offensive line, Rocky, these guys up there, Jack Woodall, Patrick Ahern, Brandon Cook, Ryan Schneeber, and Alex Breen are moving the ball.
They are. I tell you what, they take a lot of pride in what they do. You can tell they have the utmost respect for a guy like Connor Hundley, a guy that just works his tail off, and they return the favor by giving him some nice holes up there.
Jarrett Grace in on the defensive hit. We've called his name a lot, and he's one of those premier players out there as St. Xavier is looking at 2nd and 7 at the Colerain 39-yard line. The Cardinal crowd sensing they need a little bit of movement here. The pass to Milligan's got Kilgore wide open. Left-handed throw. Kilgore catches it, and he is into the end zone. St. Xavier, Kevin Milligan on the throw. 39 yards to Trey Kilgore. And I believe that Milligan is now 2 for 2 on the air passing with 2 touchdowns.
He is. We saw it against, I believe it was Moeller. He had a touchdown pass, and it looks like the exact same play. You see the Bomber faithful excited. What a great call here, a little trickery. And yeah, I saw that the Colerain defensive back bid on that. And he did a nice job completing to a wide open receiver here, and he gets to the end zone. Nice play.
The thing that I liked about Milligan on that play was he didn't overthrow it. He got it there so that Kilgore would at least catch it to pick up the large reception. Sometimes they overthrow it. This young man, his brother Danny, playing here at UC, but Kevin was injured at the beginning of the year, and how about a sophomore throwing a touchdown pass in front of quite a few thousand people here at Nippert Stadium? I couldn't have done that. You could have, but not me.
No, that was a nice play there, and boy, looking right now, St. Xavier up 22-10.
Do the Bombers go for 1 here to make it 23, or do they go for the 2-point conversion? They've taken a timeout, and I wonder if Coach Specht is saying, let's go for 2 to make it 24.
We'll see what they do here, and I'm always kind of, especially with so much game to be played, you know they got that chart that always tells you if you're down by this many, you go for 2, and if you're down by this many, you go for 1. But a lot of times, my feeling is, especially this early in the game, it's not like we're in the fourth quarter or anything. I think you take the points, you take the easy points, but we'll see what they do.
Well, one thing you want to do is after you've taken the ball here on this first drive, so the Bombers on that drive going 70 yards in 5 plays, they used up 1 minute and 46 seconds. I think you want to go in with a positive thing, but they're feeling pretty good as they're going to line up here with trips to the left, Hundley in the backfield, and Griffin Dolly calling out signals. Let's see if he's going to try to roll out a little bit here. Milligan coming in motion. Dolly firing it back across the middle, and 2-point conversion as St. Xavier gets it off there to number 85, and that's Evan Ballinger who's been catching the ball. And that was a nice little, almost like a screen pass.
It was. He kind of came right underneath it, little wide receiver screen. Picked up a nice block there. Some of his offensive line, they got out in front. They kind of led the way right in the end zone. Nice play.
Good job there by the Bombers as they picked that one up. I believe that was the center out there rocking, number 67, Brandon Cook, all GCL, and kind of hard for a center to sneak out that far. But St. Xavier And great call from the booth, up 24-10. The Bombers did what you said they needed to do to begin the second half, put points on the board. And Sean Duggan will be kicking off here. And Colerain's got to feel like they've got to get back into this ball game here on this drive.
They need something. They need a big play. They need a quick strike. They need something to kind of get some energy back going. Because right now it is all Bombers here.
Well, and I think one of the things that you're looking at with the Cardinals is they do have big play capability. So as you said, plenty of time on the board. They found themselves in situations this year where they've had to fight their way through, as the earlier game against Hamilton showed. So a lot of fight left in this team. Duggan looking to kick off. Kickoff going to go into the end zone, and Coach Speck likes that. Of course, the last time they kicked that ball off high, and by kicking it off high, they were able to pin him inside the 10-yard line. But this time, Colerain will begin 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And I think right now it's important that Colerain doesn't press and think they got to get, break a touchdown here right now and get a quick score. Like you said, they got a big play offense that's very explosive. Let's not try to do too much and get out of our game plan here.
You want to talk about a shift in statistics. The Bombers had -5 yards for the first quarter. They now have 183. Colerain with 146. They picked up 25 in the second quarter, 121 in the first. Cardinals going to try to get it re-going here on offense. That's the pitch that works so well for them. And Aaron gets outside and driven out of bounds there for the Cardinals. That's number 2, Chris Mimes.
There you see, it's kind of been, they've liked that perimeter play all day. See, it's such a wide pitch there. They get it to their speedster. Wasn't able to get all around the corner, but still a nice pickup there, 4 yards.
Picks up 4, and St. Xavier making some adjustments. The Bombers have been able to push a little bit on that offensive line that owned them in the first quarter. Doubles to the top, single receiver down here. Williams going to throw that quick pass out, and that gets a one-on-one, but a great tackle there by Jake Rumpke, number 6, on Chris Davis. Rumpke's made a lot of solo tackles.
He has made a lot of plays. He has been the heart and soul of this defense tonight. And we talked about before, Bombers had a little bit of trouble tackling, but boy, he has sure been sure in his tackling here tonight. Open field, boom, right there, drives the legs. That's how it's written up right there.
I like the call to give your quarterback a little bit of confidence to complete a pass, and if you're needing to throw downfield later on, he feels good about that. 3rd and about 5. Durham has been the bull when they've needed some yardage. Williams going to come. Williams going to try to cut it up inside, and let's see where they mark it. I believe it's going to be over the 30, and that will move the change. Bombers close quickly, but just not quickly enough on that young man.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to have him well behind the first down line, but he is so quick and fast. You'll see right there, he tucks it right there, puts that foot in the ground, gets ahead there for the first down. Nice play.
Andrew Elson, number 98, coming out of his middle linebacker position to make the play there. So St. Xavier has been substituting a lot of linebackers in and out. Stephen Daniels has been moved back to the adjuster position. Handoff coming here inside. Davis breaking free. Daniels got the corner on him, though. Daniels able to trip him up. But a nice run there by number 5, Chris Davis, to take it down to the 33. That's exactly why Daniels moved to adjuster.
You're exactly right, and that's what we talked about. Not a play that's unlike most of their plays. Just a handoff right there. They get a couple nice blocks here, and look, they get breaks a tackle right there. Colerain's got to make that tackle, but luckily Stephen Daniels saves a touchdown, barely tripping up the shoestrings.
Got down to the 32-yard line. That was a 38-yard run by Chris Davis. The Cardinals knocking on the St. Xavier door here as they're trying to move back quickly into the game, and they go to Durham. We said he'll get the ball sooner or later, and it takes a host of Bombers to bring him down, dug in underneath, along with a host of others. Busick, Barrett, just takes a full backfield to bring him down.
Offensive line got some good push there. You'll see right here just a handoff of Durham, their power back. He's been very, very effective tonight, Dave, and he scoots forward there for a nice game.
2nd down and about 4. Clock running with about 8 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. St. Xavier scored on their first possession. The Cardinals have moved from their 20-yard line deep inside St. Xavier territory. Williams has got a hold. Williams has got great speed. Aaron drives him out of bounds on about the 5-yard line. 1st and goal Cardinals. at the St. Xavier 5-yard line. This offense coming out just like they did in the first quarter.
Yeah, they look very, very efficient right now. Like you said, just how they opened the game. Tyler Williams, you see that speed right there. And I have a feeling, Dave, at some point here, he's the senior, he's going to take this game and say, look, I'm going to take this game in my hands here and try to be the difference maker, because he is such a dynamic player.
Not only has Durham done a good job running the ball, 9 carries for 57 yards, big key block there on that play. 1st and goal, Cardinals. They're on the St. Xavier 5. Williams going to carry. Williams has got a hold. They're not going to get him. 5 yards, and the Cardinal touchdown. 80-yard drive by Colerain to respond to St. Xavier's 70-yard drive. 7:55 remaining. The Bombers 24, the Cardinals 16.
And that's exactly what the Cardinals needed to do there, was answer quickly, and they did. Put a nice scoring drive together and kind of got some life over on that sideline and say, hey, we're back in this ball game, fellas.
Budke coming on for the extra point here. The senior, Tommy Budke, converted his first extra point, converted a nice field goal, and that one splits the uprights. It's the Bombers 24, the Cardinals 17, as Colerain scores on a 7-play, 80-yard drive that used 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Rocky, this game is everything everybody said it would be.
It absolutely is. You got two teams fighting very, very hard right now, and everybody knows the stakes. Cardinals doing a nice job of getting down the field and scoring pretty quickly there.
Does it surprise you that St. Xavier's put 24 points on the board? We didn't necessarily talk about how many points they needed to win, but I really thought that both of these defenses, that maybe 28 would be enough, maybe 24, depending on what was happening. But tonight, you might have to get into the 30s to pull this one out.
You're absolutely right. Both offenses, and you definitely can see where that could be the case with such explosive offenses on both sides with Colerain and St. Xavier.
Let's see if the Cardinals again go at number 40, Andrew Aaron. They have been kicking away from number 2, Jake Brodbeck, and they've been trying to kick it high. This one they're going to squib into the middle. Picked up, fumbled. Connor Hunley picks it up. Hunley's got moved to the outside. Hunley tries to turn it upfield. Connor Hunley will take it up to about the 33-yard line. Both of these coaches are not afraid to use their starters on special teams.
And Dave, it's the playoffs, baby, and they need to. You put your best team on the field right now, and like you said, it doesn't matter. There's no tomorrow, as they say, and you're going to get, like you see Connor Hunley there on the kickoff return team, and they're going to get every play they can out of that fella.
St. Xavier coming out of their huddle here. They'll start 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Griffin Dolly has been at the helm for the Bombers since early on in the second quarter. Connor Hunley behind him, 12 carries, 64 yards tonight for Hunley. Dolly looking, he's going to find Kilgore on the outside. Kilgore stepped back a few yards and he lost yardage. Kilgore had made it to the 35-yard line. Is that going to get a flag? It is. And again, you talked about penalties sometimes hurting the Cardinals, and that may not have been the smartest thing to do there.
That is such a bad penalty right there. Cardinals getting the momentum back. Just have a nice stop there for no gain, and it looks like it's going to be a 15-yard penalty on him, and there it is. We see it.
Personal foul whistled against the Cardinals, and this will come up on the late hit. And that's going to take the ball out to just about the midfield stripe. Actually, it'll cover over into Colerain territory. Now, what they've got him right here, life is real good, and then this.
Right
coming up there. Boom.
See, I know Tom Bolden is furious over there in that sideline. Why does something like that happen? Bombers with new life.
And yes, the coaching staff
He just pulled him too. Look.
Yep. Well, and sometimes you have to do that just to give the young man an opportunity to calm down and get his head back in the game. Handoff here to Hunley. Hunley trying to break through, and Jared Grace busted up 3. That's one of those highlight films coaches look at.
I was going to say, being a Notre Dame alumni myself, very happy to see a player of this caliber going to my alma mater here. Nice play. He is very strong. Uses his hands well. A lot of times high school players, they don't use their hands. He has some big, long arms. He can fight off blocks, and you see very, very strong at the point of attack.
Hunley makes positive yardage. 2-yard pickup for the Bombers. 2nd down and about 8. Both sidelines trying to root their teams on, and right now the Cardinals dressed in red and black. Their fans are standing and trying to will this defense to a stop. Hunley trying to break through, but Grace has got him on about the 45-yard line. Pick up about 2. If Hunley breaks through there, he had a long way to go, but he just can't break free as Grace is there. 3rd down and 6 for St. Xavier.
And Jared Grace, we just called his name here. Just, you see right there, boom, look at that, forced the block. That is a big-time play right there. Uses his hands, just throws the St. Xavier offensive lineman to the side, comes up with a tackle. That's why he is a big-time player.
And he is definitely, look, they've sort of moved him back on the inside, and he's sort of kind of spying on some of the St. Xavier players and reading his hole. Colerain going to bring the blitz. Dolly's got some room to run. Dolly right on the line. Dolly fires. Kilgore on the catch. Trey Kilgore on the catch. No, he's going to say he's out of bounds. And now they're both going to take a look at this one to see what happens.
I want to see this replay here.
It looks like he had one.
They only need 1 foot in high school.
Dolly firing here.
He might not have secured the ball. We'll see it right here.
Definitely. Inbounds.
Wow.
No doubt about that. That's just a horrible call.
That is a terrible call. That should definitely have been.
Bombers should have 1st and 10 down inside the 20. Unlucky for St. Xavier. The interesting thing, the back judge looked like he was going to call it. The side judge here was 25 yards away, and that is not going to look good on his report card, but Perdone's going to have to come in and punt. You don't ever want to see the officials cause something in a game to go awry, but that was unlucky for St. Xavier.
Say what, Steve
Fair catch made on about the 12-yard line. Steve definitely wants to have a talk to him, but they're going to walk away from him. So very unlucky for St. Xavier here in this playoff game. Very lucky for Colerain. Let's hope that one doesn't come back. They have an outcome influence on the final outcome here before you're looking at first. And a great opportunity for St. Xavier there. So their defense is going to have to stand strong here. Dolly really threw that one on a rope. Kilgore on the great catch. And like we said, unlucky for the Bombers and a bad call there by the officials. Cardinals will start 1st and 10. Williams directed a great drive. There's that fast pitch. Aaron coming up. He's got him there. And they're going to swarm him under. And St. Xavier on the tackle back on the 9-yard line as Aaron came up to make the big hit. So the defense perhaps going to try to pick this team up off the field off of that last turn of events.
Well, that was some nice gang tackling there by the Bombers defense. You had Barrett, you had Arand, had the linebacking core in there for the Bombers. Nice play, way to respond here. It's on their backs right now. An unfortunate thing with the call by the official, but the game is in their hands right now. They want to keep them down this end of the field.
5:25 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Cardinals marched 80 yards on their last drive. The Bomber defense doesn't want to see that happen again. Nice handoff and a nice cut up the middle. And so Cardinals get it up to about the 25-yard line. And Durham, whenever they need yards, that's like their most durable back.
He is. He's been the real factor here tonight. He has that ability, being a big frame guy, about 245 pounds, but also with some speed too. But he can lower that shoulder and churn ahead and get those tough yards.
3rd down and about 4 yards to go. St. Xavier 24, Colerain 17. Tyler Williams in this game, 16 carries, 67 yards, 1 touchdown. Fakes, he's going to roll. He's got a receiver, that's Durham, who's open. Durham runs into Aaron, and Aaron tackles him down, and the Cardinals will be faced with 4th and about 2 from their own 20-yard line. Is he going to punt, or is he going to go for it here? Looks like he's sending in the punting unit, and with the defense that has responded as well as they have on their last down, I understand this. So the St. Xavier defense holds on with a lot of pride there. If that could have been a huge momentum shift against the Bombers after that reception was ruled incomplete.
It was, and I like that play, getting in the hands of your playmaker, Tyler Williams, let it roll out, giving that run pass option. I think we're going to see more of that as the game goes on. Unfortunately, the
high snap
pass wasn't falling off.
Unfortunately, the Bombers did not bring the house like they did on the last one. Rumpke let it bounce, and that ball is going to take a 30-yard roll to the St. Xavier 24-yard line. The up man did not get called off the play by number 2, Jake Broadback. I said Rumpke, but it was Broadback. Broadback let it bounce, and then what ended up happening was it bounced all the way back to the Bomber 24. Bad bounces against St. Xavier.
Bad bounces, but I'll tell you what, you saw Steve Speck over there absolutely furious. He has to come up and fair catch that ball. Because, I mean, that was, basically 15, 20 yards of extra roll there. If he comes up and at least fair catch that ball, they're going to get that thing around the 40-yard line. Steve Speck, very upset. I saw the hat come off and hit the ground with authority.
With authority. I like that. With authority. Dolly will call out signals for St. Xavier. The Cardinals trying to win the field position game here. Handoff coming to Milligan. Milligan cuts it up inside. Milligan will get it above the 30-yard line, and then he's thrown backwards. That'll be about a 6-yard pickup or so for St. Xavier. Call it 2nd and 4. So the Bombers using a lot of misdirection, and they're opening up their playbook as well here tonight.
They really are. They're doing the runs up the middle. They're doing the reverses. We saw the reverse pass. They're opening up that playbook. It's playoff time, and whatever we need to make happen there, they're going to try it.
Dolly calling out signals. 2nd down. They're going to actually credit Milligan with about 7 yards on that pickup and about 3 yards to go. Coming in motion, hand off to Hundley. Hundley gets hit behind the line of scrimmage, but is able to bring it back over the top, and Steve Fernandez making the big hit for the Cardinals.
Tell you what, the Cardinals got about, seems like they get just more and more linebackers are making plays. They got 5, 6, 7 linebackers that are all factors in this game.
3rd down and less than a yard, 2:48 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Bombers scored on a 70-yard drive. The Cardinals responded with a score on an 80-yard drive. And then both teams got stuffed by their defenses on their last possession. St. Xavier finds themselves here. 3rd down, less than a yard to go. Hundley is usually the man they go to here. Let's see what the offensive call is. Long count. Hand off to Hundley. Hundley bowls it across to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10. It's not pretty, but it's football that wins games.
Exactly right. And if you're going to have a go-to play, you're going to put it in the hands of that man, Connor Hundley. It's like we talked about before, he very rarely takes negative yardage plays. Did a nice job just picking up the 1st down here. Clock's ticking away.
Getting down to about 2 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. The St. Xavier offense has put 203 yards on the board. The Colerain offense has put 234 on the board. Very, very evenly played. Dolly on the fake off to Hundley. Dolly trying to get outside. Dolly gets a few blocks, and then Dolly gets crushed on the play. And there was a face mask there for Griffin Dolly. Woo, wedge time.
He really did. And I'll tell you what, penalties have killed Colerain here tonight. Get a decent stop, and you'll see the face mask come right there.
Yep.
That's Joe Bolden, the linebacker. He just got a little too aggressive, and you know it's unfortunate for them. But that's going to be an extra 15 yards for the Bombers.
So they're going to mark this off, and that will take the play down inside Colerain territory to about the Cardinal 43-yard line or so, where the Bombers will begin 1st and 10. Looking at penalties, the Cardinals right now with 8 penalties unofficially for 80 yards. And a lot of those have come in critical time series. And so St. Xavier once again find themselves down in Colerain territory just like they were on their last possession. Dolly calling out signals. 7 points is probably not a big enough lead. Hand off to Hundley. Hundley met in the backfield. He shifts through 2 tacklers and then is able to get the ball down to about the 39-yard line. Call it a pickup of about 3.
Well, Joe Bolden shot through that line there. Very explosive. Couldn't get him to the ground, though. You'll see right here, a little that misdirection play. Try to use that speed against him. Shoots through. You see him. Tough, strong runner. Falling forward, picking up a few yards there.
16 carries, 74 yards for Connor Hundley. You said that if he could go 25 and get over 100, that would be one of your benchmarks for a Bomber win, and he's approaching those numbers. Fake there, pass, nice catch by Kilgore. Kilgore will stretch it out to about the 27. Now for a sophomore, that's a big play. Had a big pass wiped out, comes back, makes the catch there, gets the 1st down.
You're exactly right. He's their leading receiver. He comes in this game with 21 receptions. That was a nice play there. Can't say enough about the Bomber offensive coordinator, Mike Heisman, doing a nice job opening up, passing, running, misdirection, reverses. Doing a nice job here tonight.
1st down and about 10 yards to go at the Cardinal 28-yard line. St. Xavier finding themselves deep in Colerain territory again. Hundley trying to come through, and just too many red jerseys there to stuff him. If he gets back to the line of scrimmage, I think he's going to take about a half-yard loss. We'll call it 2nd and about 11. They're going to mark it back a full yard as this clock is ticking down to end action here in the 3rd quarter. They're going to give him a little bit of a rest as C.J. Hilliard, the freshman, will check in. And let's see. St. Xavier will have to run a play before the end of this quarter, and then they'll be heading into the other direction right in front of their student body. 9 seconds left, so the Bombers are going to have to be smart here about not taking a penalty as that clock is now at 4-3. And there's the handoff to Hilliard. Hilliard going to go up the middle. C.J. Hilliard, the freshman, will get it make it about third down. We'll call it about 8, and that will be the final play of the third quarter. As we head to the fourth, it's the St. Xavier Bombers 24, the Colerain Cardinals 17. Rocky, your thoughts on the movement there in the third quarter?
Well, the Bombers just done a nice job picking up where they left off here in the first half and here in the second half. And they had a little bit of adversity there with the play with the referee, kind of the bad call there. But defense did a nice job holding them. And again, they're putting together a nice drive right now.
Fourth quarter, do you see anything necessarily changing? The Bombers open it up, throwing there a little bit. Do you see Hundley getting the ball?
I think they're going to try to get the ball more to Hundley, but again, they've done a nice job today doing whatever they have to do. You know, sometimes they have to pass the ball. Done a nice job catching and throwing, but I think we're definitely going to see more Connor Hundley as well. He's their workhorse, and again, especially now in the fourth quarter, they want that time to click off very, very quickly here, and what a better way to do it than to get it to Connor Hundley.
Well, we saw how fast the Cardinals could score after the Bombers had a big play drive that basically, you know, took the ball in. Colerain came down and ran the ball 80 yards effectively in less than 2 minutes. And so they responded to that one, and that's why the Bombers need to keep moving forward here.
Exactly
Third
right.
down and about 8. I believe this is 4-down territory because it's too far out for Sean Duggan, I believe, at this point. St. Xavier shifting.
A little unbalanced line. They bring the lineman over to the right, the tight end position.
Dolly looking to hand off here. He hands off to Hundley, or yes, to Hilliard, and I believe Hilliard ran to the wrong spot because all the men on the sidelines were pointing to what should have happened there, and it looked like the Cardinals came deep inside, and now the Bombers are going to look at about 4th down and about 7. It's a tough call against this defense. I believe they're going to try a field goal because if it does cross into the end zone, the ball will go down to the 20-yard line. So you may as well try to put some points on the board here. And Duggan has hit some. The difficulty tonight for St. Xavier is the snaps sometimes are a little high, and these guys work on precision. Linebacker punter for the Cardinals is Bolden. Linebacker place kicker for the Bombers, Duggan. Quick snap. Everything went wrong on that play. High snap. Looks like Gradone may not have been ready for the play, and Duggan really a little bit upset there.
Yeah, it looks like
we can see the replay on that. It just looked like everything happened too quickly there.
You're exactly
on
right.
That play.
Looked like the snap came a little too soon there. I don't think we're going to get it, but Sean Duggan has the leg to do it. But like you said before, here it is right there. High snap again. And Duggan's been very consistent when the snap and the hold are good, but right there I've seen a problem with that.
And Gradone gets it down well. I mean, considering it's high, he gets it down well. Williams trying to run here, and that was a big play by Jake Broadbeck. He came in, and if I'm the offensive coordinator, I see that he came in. Number 5 was wide open, but no possibility for a pitch out there to Davis.
Yep. That's the thing with that triple option. Well, as we're getting the stats here coming in for the third quarter.
Cardinals will be looking at 2nd down and about 9 yards to go. We're in the fourth quarter here at Nippert Stadium. The winner of this game will proceed on to play the winner of Huber Heights, Wayne, and Centerville. Handoff on the inside, and there's some room to go until Stephen Daniels decided to slam the door. Pick up out to about the 25-yard line. I like the way that one was set up for Mimes, but then Daniels just swallowed it.
Yeah, he did. He came out of his middle linebacker position there. Like you said, he's usually on the line of scrimmage, but with the triple option attack, they want to be able to get him sideline to sideline. It worked out well there. He's able to make a nice tackle.
3rd down and about 5 from the 25-yard line. The Bomber fans trying to urge on their defense. They know that this could be the possession kind of thing that could help them. Williams underneath center. Durham in the backfield. Williams looking to pass. Williams has got a lane open up the middle, and St. Xavier didn't stay home, and Williams will get the first down. Tyler Williams was looking, and the pursuit by the Bomber linebackers allowed him to cut back rock for the first down.
Yep, and we saw that play, the last big third down they had there. They weren't able to convert. This time they do. Get the ball in the hand of your playmaker. Give him that run-pass option. You see right there, the pass wasn't open, but a guy like Tyler Williams able to tuck that ball and scoot forward and get the first down.
18 carries for 73 yards for Williams. And I like your point about You got to put the ball in the hands of your playmakers. This is the playoffs, and Williams made that play happen for the Cardinals. Williams looking to pass, double pump. He's got a man open on the sidelines. Broadbeck closing, and that pass falls out of bounds far. I like the idea of stretching the St. Xavier defense.
I like it too, and I'll tell you what, they're lucky that pass short out of bounds, because Jake Broadbeck did a nice job in coverage there. He would have had that pick if the ball stayed in bounds. But yeah, good job. I like the play call. Just a nice job defending there by Broadbeck.
Cardinals will bring double replacements in here on 2nd down, 10 yards to go. They are on their own 31-yard line. 245 yards tonight for the Cardinals total offense, 227 for the Bombers. 240 of that 245 on the ground for Colerain, running the ball effectively. Williams looking to pitch. Williams can't get the pitch. Duggan is there. Parchment is there. And St. Xavier snuffed that one out underneath. And a great job there also by Andrew Elson on the play.
That was a nice shot. Looks like he's kind of taking over at the middle linebacker position for Mark Jacob. I don't know if he's hurt or if they just decided to make the switch there, but that was a nice play there, getting for about a 2-yard loss there.
And both of these teams with depth, as you said.
Yeah.
We've seen some players who've been nicked up tonight, and they've had to go to some backups. And both of these teams with a lot of quality players are on that top 7, and we are going to have a timeout taken by the Colerain Cardinals here as that play clock was ticking down. And with 8:46 to go, I think Tom Bolden just wants to make sure that the Cardinals kind of know, what's going on here in terms of, if we don't get this play, this is what we need to do. Just keep their head in the game, and I think that's a good timeout to keep them focused.
I think so. I think you're right, and I think we're definitely going to see the ball in the hand of Tyler Williams here on this 3rd down play, giving them that run-pass option. Kind of tough here with being a 3rd and 12. But I want to go back to your point you said earlier about having guys step up, and that's the mark of a good team, is that when guys either get nicked up or something happens to somebody, you can just throw another guy right in there, and you don't have to change your game plan up. You don't have to change what you do. And I know my time with the Colts, that was kind of our mentality, and the rule was the next man up, and that meant whoever, if your guy ahead of you goes down, you got to be able to step up, and the offense, the defense has to not skip a beat. And you see that out of these two teams here tonight.
Tell you, the Volunteers at Waycross bringing you all the action. If you'd like to volunteer with us, give us a call at 825-2429. They caught the Colerain Cardinal Band with their fans. They caught the St. Xavier guys doing the roller coaster. They caught Steve Speck talking to Stephen Daniels, and they're catching all the action on the field. And we hope that you'll continue to join us to watch all the sports brought to you by Waycross Community TV. 3rd down and 12. The Cardinals on their own 29-yard line. Williams has been the guy who's been trying to pick up big yardage. Double wideouts coming. Williams going to try to cut back. Duggan coming over. Busick is going to have to cut him down there. And Busick, let's see where they mark it. And it looks like they're going to mark it short. But it depends where that, see where that final mark is.
We'll see what
That's
they give
him.
him.
Really close to that 1st down. I think they're going to have an official measurement here.
As you see the replay here, look, what an incredible effort by this kid. Look at this, just selling out. You'll see right here. Don't know if he gets the 1st down, but watch this effort right here. Extending, laying out. You see it's the playoff time, Dave. They're doing whatever they have to do to keep their playoff and their state title chances alive.
Now it's interesting where he had the ball and where they marked it. Did they mark it where his knee went out, or did he have the ball over there? Because
couldn't see if maybe his left foot had stepped out of bounds there before he was able to reach across that line, but he's definitely short.
It's going to be 4th down. They're going to be on their own 42-yard line. I think that it looks like Tom Bolden's going to go for it here, because you're 4th and less than a yard. You're going to see the replay here. They must have marked it down where his knee went out.
I think his knee, his knee went down right there, and I think it looked like a pretty good call there by the officials.
So unlucky if you're a Cardinal fan. Not as egregious as the call against the Bombers earlier in the 3rd quarter. Both teams imploring their fans on. They're going to bring this thing out and make sure that they get the right measurement. And it'll be 4th and less than a yard with 8:37 left to go here in the 4th quarter. We've seen some great games up here at Nippert Stadium. We've got to thank the officials at the University of Cincinnati and the OHSAA for choosing this site, but it has been the site of many a good football game. See if Williams is going to try to duck underneath that center. He may just give it to the bull. Williams going through, and he was pushed forward from behind for the first down. So the old Traylon Durham there just pushing him forward, and that will be the first down for the Cardinals. It'll be out to about the Bomber 43-yard line, and this drive continues for Colerain.
Yeah, there was no second thoughts there about going for it. It said with 8.5 minutes left to go in this game, they knew they had to pick up that first down. They got some life here. See what they can make of it.
1st and 10, Cardinals on their own 43-yard line. So far in this drive, they've had 7 plays for 23 yards, 2 first downs on the ground. Handoff inside. There is a guy who just, I don't know, it really impresses me. Traylon Durham carrying the first tackle with him.
He took Andrew Elson for a little bit of ride right here. You'll see, look at that, just putting that head down, churning them knees forward. I have to believe, Dave, if Colerain had the lead, we would have saw nothing but gives to Traylon Durham today, because he's been very effective, but obviously being behind in points, got to get the ball in the hands of some of your other playmakers, try to pick up some big yardage.
Right, use the speed to the outside that has been effective. The Cardinals now at 264 total yards, 2nd and 3. Williams looking to pass. They've got fly patterns all over. That should be picked off, but no, overran it. Are they going to call it a reception and a fumble? No, they're going to call it incomplete. So St. Xavier initially, now we're going to have a little bit of discussion here as to whether he did catch it. And this is the back judge, and this is the side judge. And this side judge has been involved in some difficult decisions tonight. He blew the early one. Let's see if they got this one right. Catch? No.
No.
Nope, knocked out.
Did not secure
Good
that
job
ball
there by Jake Rumpke. So the back judge had called it there, and I think the side judge was awful glad that they made the call there, because he didn't want to be in another controversy. 3rd and 3 from midfield. Cardinals are not afraid to pass tonight. Unfortunately, they're not hitting a lot of those passes, as he's now 2 for 7 for 5 yards. 3rd down and about 3. Williams has been the guy who's been getting the ball on 3rd down, but this looks like it could be a Durham situation. He's going to keep it again, and what a great block by his fullback there. St. Xavier able to knock him out of bounds on about the 48-yard line. It's going to be 4th and less than a yard, Rocky.
Yeah, it looks like Jake Rumpke's down right now.
Yep.
I'll tell you, he's been the best defender on the field tonight for the Bombers. Look, he's got his shoulder. Hopefully he's okay and they can get him back, because he's made some great plays tonight. You saw before with that pass breakup. Been a nice job open field tackling. Hopefully he's okay.
Mike Gordon, along with the doctors from Wellington Medical Sports, going out there. And so one of the things is that the St. Xavier Bombers have their staff there. And so we're going to continue to talk here about what's going on the field. A big drive here by the Cardinals.
Definitely. They've had to put together, they saw go for it on 4th down here. I think they're going to have to do it again. But, like with the time right now being just about over 7 minutes, they got to find a way to get this ball in the end zone.
The penalty, or the injury here to St. Xavier gives them a chance to talk about what they want to do. You went for it on 4th and less than a yard. Now it's 4th and a yard. I again expect they're going to go for it. Yeah,
I think you might see the same play too, with Durham kind of pushing Williams forward there. We'll see what they do, but definitely going to go for it here, because they got to keep this drive alive in order if they want to win.
So one of the things I think that we'll be looking at then will be how we play this out. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Defensively, if you're Steve Speck, you just play this one straight up and not try to give up the long ball.
Yeah, exactly. You try not to do anything special. You don't want to bring a blitz or anything like that. You just want to play it safe. Probably going to pick up the first down here, but definitely don't want to get a big play and get a quick score here. Try to use that clock, make them drive the length of the field.
And it's good that Jake Rumpke is able to get up off the field behind us here to the cheers of the St. Xavier fans. We won't know what's happening to Jake until a little bit later on, but we talked about this last week. We certainly thank all the sports team's physician. There's Mike Gordon, the trainer, joined out there by the doctors from Wellington Sports Medicine here in Cincinnati. And the Cardinals will be looking at 4th down and 1. Now, one thing the Cardinals have not done, Rock, here in the second half as much after that 15-yard player control foul is they've not hurt themselves with penalties.
You're right, and that's enabled them to put a drive together here.
Daniels blitzed off the left side. Colerain ran to the right side, and they went to the bowl. Number 34, Traylon Durham. who takes it down to the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 Cardinals. Less than 7 minutes to go. They're trying to strike pay dirt and make this into a tie ball game.
Nice pick up there. Some nice blocking there as well, but then again, just able to put that head down, scoot forward, get about another 3-4 yards after contact.
So many of the Cardinals now. Williams with 87 yards, Davis with 86, Durham with 56. Numbers starting to come. Williams fakes the handoff to Durham. Durham gives him a big block. I'll tell you, Durham is the guy who's been springing Williams on the block. Daniels just jumped on his back there. Otherwise, that would have been a 38-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that was a nice job. They call this the duck play. You get the lead blocker out in front of you, the quarterback directing him where he wants to go, and tries to get a little bit of a seam there. Sure, tackling Daniels there brings him to the ground.
So St. Xavier here now looking at 2nd down and 3 yards for their defense against this tough Colerain offense. Steve Specht working with his defensive coordinators to see if they can slow them down. 283 yards now for the Cardinals. Man in motion. Williams back to pass. He's got a man open on the fly pattern. Aaron came up. Touchdown. Williams on that time. Following number 5, Chris Davis for the Cardinal touchdown. Aaron came blitzing up the middle. Rumpke was out of the lineup. His replacement, so a good job by the Cardinal offensive coordinator here.
Yeah, he bid on the run fake. Looks like the safety, Iran, thought it was a run play. Lets the guy get behind him, and man, that is unfortunate for the Bombers right there. They get a quick score.
5:54 now remaining, and as you said, a quick score, and the St. Xavier offense will have to come through. Bomber defense looking to come through here. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is wide right.
Good.
No good.
Oh my God.
We've said that extra points can play a huge part in this game. Duggan missed the point left, and that one was missed right by Budke. It just looked like I'd like to see the replay there again.
Yeah, it looks like he pushed it.
It looked like he pushed it. Looks like for whatever reason he stopped, and the Cardinals like, oh. But he's saying we're still going to bring it on here with 5:54 left to go. Here's the replay, Rock.
Here again, we'll see. It looked like a pretty good snap and a hold. I'm not a kicker by trade, so I don't know exactly what happened, but it looked like he just pushed that ball off to the right.
It looked more like he towed it off the front of his foot than getting the whole thing off to the side. So the Cardinals will kick off here. St. Xavier, 5:54 remaining. They definitely have to get some yardage here, and boy, points on the board would absolutely thrill their crowd. Force Colerain to go for a touchdown and not just a field goal, because we know Budke has a big leg from the big field goal he kicked in the first half. Do you onside kick here, or do you play field position?
I think you play field position. You force the Bombers to put some drives together. You got just under 6 minutes left to go on the clock. The Bombers are going to have to put 3-4 first down opportunities here together. So I think you make them convert those things, and hopefully your defense can hold.
Jake Broadbeck is back deep along with Andrew Aaron. Broadbeck will take it, and it bounces off his pad on about the 6-yard line. Picks it up. He's got some room up the middle, and he's going to be swarmed under on about the 16. So the Cardinal defense, when they needed to come up on special teams play, came up big there. The Bombers pinned deep in their own territory with 5:48 remaining.
Little I got it, you got it going on there, and luckily there, the Bombers were able to get the ball back.
Broadbeck cuts it upfield nicely, and then the speed of the Cardinals able to hem him in. St. Xavier had been winning perhaps the special teams game, and now the St. Xavier offense has got to respond with a drive of their own here. Take some time off of this clock. More importantly, give that defense perhaps a little time to rest. Let's see how they're going to block for Connor Hunley and Griffin Dollar. Milligan coming in motion. Handoff to Hunley. Hunley lit up on the play, but he'll still come forward for about 3 more yards out to about the 19-yard line. You get the feel that momentum has shifted to the Cardinals because of the play of their defense.
You're exactly right. They've come in and really stepped up. He said, we're not going to go quietly away here, and got their team back in the ball game. And I'll tell you what, the Bombers are going to have to at least get out of this hole they're in back here. They're still behind the 20-yard line.
2nd down and about 9 yards to go. Dolly calling out the signals. Dolly will flip it here. Milligan's got to cut it upfield. That is not a good choice. There's a penalty marker on the play. St. Xavier could get called for holding. Now that is not a good choice by the sophomore. He went backwards. Just cut upfield and cut your losses. Don't increase your losses. Penalty marker on the 11. I believe we may have an illegal block by the Bombers. It is. Illegal block in the back.
And look, you'll see on the replay here, this was all Andrew Smith. He does a nice job. The reverses work for him, but look at him, he stays home, pushes that blocker back.
And this is where Milligan just should have cut it upfield, and instead that penalty will be declined. The Bombers will be back on their 9-yard line. And Rocky, they're looking at 3rd down and about 16 or 17. They've got to get that ball, maybe 18. They've got to get out to just about the 27, 26-yard line. Dolly going to call out signals here. Perhaps they're going to give their kicker some room. Dolly looks. Dolly pumps. Oh, there's interference there. Kilgore looking for the pass. I guess they thought he couldn't get it as he hooked up with number 24, and that was a lot of coverage there by Jordan Fluke, the senior.
And here's where that penalty becomes so crucial. Now the Bombers are going to be punting out of their own end zone, and even with a decent kick, the Cardinals are going to be not far from field goal range wherever they get this ball.
A lot of contact there, but I thought it might have been, but I don't think the ball was catchable where it was thrown. Had it been a little closer, maybe they would have looked at it. And Chris Gradone is going to have to get a huge punt off here. The play that turned the game around for St. Xavier was a punt fumble by the Cardinals, and you know that number 5, Chris Davis, who got the last touchdown, would like to make up for that. Davis looking, he's got it at about the 45-yard line where he takes a fair catch. And the Colerain Cardinal offense, the engine that has driven this team to 43 points a game, finds themselves down 1 point with 4:49 remaining. The St. Xavier defense is going to have to come up huge here.
Yeah, this is crunch time for their defense because they have to try to hold them out of field goal range here, which is going to be tough.
The Cardinals have not committed any major penalties since Tom Bolden pulled one of his players for that personal foul. And the St. Xavier defense is going to have to come up big. They go to the bowl. He tries to bring it ahead. He'll pick up about 2 yards. Traylon Durham now with 80 yards in the game.
I have a feeling Colerain's philosophy right now is going to be keep this ball on the ground, try to pick up some yards, pick up some first downs, and get that ball down, milk that clock. You see the clock ticking away right now.
And they've got a very good field goal kicker. He may have missed that last extra point, but he booted a solid field goal in the first half. And so they know he's got the leg. Let's see what they do here. 2nd down and about 8 yards to go. Brought back out. Can St. Xavier pulling down? Busick's got him. It'll be a loss back to about the 47-yard line. But that was a good job by Chris Davis to get about 4 yards after the initial hit.
Boy, that was a nice job by Busick there, though. See, they tried a little trickery there with the reverse. Nice sure tackle right there. A little horse collar action there. I don't know if that's a penalty in high school or not.
Sometimes they do call that. You're exactly right. Good stiff arm out there by Davis. 3rd down and about 11. Cardinal fans up. Bomber fans up. This is what high school football is all about. Williams completed his last pass for a touchdown. He's looking right. He's looking to the middle. He's got a hold of the middle. St. Xavier misses on the first. Williams gets about 8 yards. It'll be 4th down on about the 37-yard line. We'll call it 4th and about 2. And Tom Bolden is probably going to go for it here. So Williams made great yardage here, Rocky.
He did a nice job here. Again, we see him with the pass run option. He tucks this thing. Gets forward. Nice job by the Bombers tackling right here.
They got
see on who that was. Looks like it was
Elson.
Yeah, Elson.
Correction, coming in for St. Xavier. That was Mark Jacob who checked back into the lineup. 4th down and a short 3 or a long 2. Hand off to Durham. He stopped. St. Xavier.
This is going to be close.
This is going to be close depending where they mark it. It looked like they stopped, but now the mark looks like they're going to have to measure this one.
This is going to come down to inches either way, Dave.
Where they put their foot and then where they mark the ball. St. Xavier is going to take over.
Wow.
1st and 10. I thought they had him stopped, and then I saw where the ball was.
Yep.
2:49 remaining. Both teams with 2 timeouts. When do you start to use them, Coach?
It's going to be for the Bombers right now. They got to keep this ball on the ground. I think milk that clock out. It's going to be tough. If they start to drive a little bit, you're going to see Colerain start to call some timeouts because they can't let that clock slip away too much. We see under 3 minutes right now.
I think what will happen is if they stuff them for a loss or maybe a 1-yard run, they may take one right away. But if the Bombers rip a big one, they won't. You're taking a look at the St. Xavier cheering section and band. They're fired up on their side. We're getting a look underneath us at the Colerain Cardinal fans who are up. Griffin Dolly going to call out signals. You got to bet Hunley's going to get the ball here, and he is. Hunley met in the backfield. He'll bowl ahead for about a yard. The clock keeps running. St. Xavier has a good punter. 2nd down and about 9.5 as he didn't get much.
Yeah, he didn't get much at all there. You see, he does a nice job. I'll tell you, that was number 55, Andrew Smith. Boy, he has played a nice game today. You saw at the opener of the game there, chasing Max James all the way down across the field, and he's come up with a few big plays here tonight.
2nd down and about 9. You can bet that the Bomber quarterback is going to be looking at that clock time to take off as many seconds as they can. More importantly, if they can get a 1st down, that's how they put the pressure on the Cardinals. Handoff here. Nice move by Hunley. and he'll pick up that 1st down. And let's see what this one's going to be on. Or the Bombers going to be called for an illegal block in the backfield?
I think that's what they're going to call.
Holding.
Yep, holding.
Yep. And that is going to knock down that. And you know what? They have not been calling a lot here late in the game, but let's...
Yeah, we couldn't really see on the replay, but I saw it on the initial play there. Flag came in a little late there, but that was definitely a...
Yeah, I was just going to say, they've really been letting them play this one, but if you make it too egregious, they're going to have to call it. So the Bombers will be back on their own 25-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 21. They've got to get out to about the 46 or so. And so that play that would have been a 1st down now has that clock running, and St. Xavier will milk this thing as long as they can. And I got a feeling that, you know, they're just going to hand off and try to get some here, or try that safe little maybe screen pass or shovel pass on 2nd and 20 with 1:45 remaining. Milligan going in the backfield. Pitch to Milligan. Milligan's got it. Milligan's got a seam. Milligan gets bumped out of bounds, and he'll get up to about the 37, but that is not what the Bombers wanted. They wanted him to fall down. He got positive yardage, but they wanted to keep that clock rolling. Instead, Colerain does not have to use a timeout, and there's now 1:37
I think you'll see right now, I know the Cardinals coaches wanted to hold on Trey Kilgore right there.
Yes.
And they may have been one.
Yep.
Bombers got away with one right there. They're very upset on the Cardinal side.
And they should be. I mean, if they were going to call the last one, but did they hit Dolly in the face mask or not as well? Like they said, they're going to let these kids decide it on the field. Fakes left, fakes right. Hunley's looking for a maneuver. Hunley will get it up, and then he gets rocked on about the 43, but he holds on. Rocky, what I liked about that is that the Bombers picked up about 18 yards on 2 plays that now give them much better field position here, and they will be looking at 4th down. And where are they going to put this? On the 42. It'll be 4th and 5. Timeout Cardinals, 1 timeout remaining. And you got to think that Gradone and the boys are coming on here. I'm not sure why the Bombers are huddling.
Yeah, they're going to punt this away. But like you said, that was good for them to get a few yards. And at least now with a kick, they should be able to pin them pretty far back in their own territory here.
So 4th down, about 4 yards to go. And Tim Banker over there with his special teams guys. 1:30 remaining in the game. Coach, do you try the return here because you've got a great returner for the Cardinals in number 5, Chris Davis, or do you bring the house?
I don't know. I think at this point you may want to try to bring the house. There's only 1:30 left on the clock, and I think you bring the house and you tell Chris Davis maybe to fair catch and get your offense on the field rather than try to go ahead and set up a block.
Unless St. Xavier doesn't fire their release men, then you know, you may go. Now, one of the things that's good for the Bombers here is they've got a lot of their big tacklers, you know, in the lineup here. And so Gradone going to be back on about his 27. Thing you want here is just a nice snap. He may even try to punt it out of bounds. Nice high punt. That one's going to sail. And, oh, wow. Unfortunately for the Bombers, it sailed into the end zone. And that's a 58-yard punt with 1:23 remaining. You want to talk about pressure and high school kids coming through. Gradone just wailed on that one there.
He really did, but I'll tell you what, if there's anybody that can make this quick score opportunity happen, it's Tyler Williams, the quarterback for the Colerain Cardinals here. He is so dynamic and explosive, and I have to believe every play they're going to put that ball in his hands. He's taking this game upon his shoulders right now with under 1:30 left to go, and possibly their season.
And St. Xavier's had to make some defensive changes as Jake Rumke has not come back onto the field. So Marcus Hughes has checked in for the Bombers defensively. Timeout St. Xavier. So they've got 2 timeouts left. The Cardinals went trips to the left side, and that sort of surprised the Bombers a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to take a timeout and talk about it a little bit, especially like you said with a few new bodies in there. You see Marcus Hughes. He definitely has experience. He's been their nickel back at times this year, so they shouldn't lose too much of a letdown here with him in the game. But they're going to talk about it here and draw up their best defense and lay it all here on the line.
Rumke has been one of those guys who has come through for the Bombers. Williams is 22 of 47 on the year. He's only thrown 1 interception. And tonight, his statistics are that he's 3 of 8 for 36, 1 TD. He's had men open, and so there's just a lot going on out there. And the Cardinals also have some trick plays in their bag of tricks. The Bombers with Kevin Milligan's touchdown pass. They like to do these reverses, and
yeah, they like to try a little trickery, try to get the defense off caught off balance a little bit. But I know right now one thing Steve Speck and the Bomber defensive coordinator Tim McDonald are talking about to the defensive secondary, and that's look. No, don't bite on no play action. Don't let any receivers behind you at this point. They got such a long field, got to drive 80 yards. Don't let anybody behind you at this point.
And they definitely do not want to get them in field goal range because they know they have a good field goal kicker. Williams is going to come, and he's going to get out of bounds, and that's a smart move to stop the clock. He'll take it up to about the 23-yard line. Let's call that about a 5-yard pickup or so. We'll call it 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, they tried to here just with the to snap to the quarterback and get the run. Bombers did a nice job just stringing this ball out here.
Good job by the senior there, too, to get out of bounds. Rather than try to get the 1 or 2 extra yards, he knew it was more important to stop the clock. 2nd down, they're only going to give him 3 yards on the play. That's the one out. Or I thought so from our angle here. Williams looking left, looking right. Pake, fump, and catch. No. Yes? Wow, we're going to have to see this one on replay. They're going to say yes on the 41-yard line. They said no to Kilgore. We're going to see here. This official probably wants him to throw to the other sideline.
And I don't know how Andrew Rand did not pick this ball off or at least knock it down. You'll see right here.
Yes, he did get his foot in.
He did get his foot down. Yeah,
he did.
He put it right on the sideline there. It was a hard.
Good call by the official. Yep. But like you said, I don't know how Aaron didn't get up and get it. They've gone to the 41-yard line in 5 seconds. They've made 20 yards. Oh, makes Daniels miss, but then he's pulled down. And so the Cardinals now, and there is a penalty on the far sideline. Did we have illegal motion, or was someone lined up in the defensive zone? There was an illegal shift. Got to think Steve Speck will take this penalty here.
And you'll see every time he tucks his ball down, I get nervous up here in the press box, Dave, because he is so dangerous in the open field. And you know everybody on that Bomber sideline is holding on to their breath here every time he tucks that ball.
E.J. Parchment made the stop there after Daniels missed, so that'll move the ball back 5 yards. So the Cardinals with 1:02 remaining. And Rocky, you said too, this is the young man who said in the paper, and very honestly, that it was a very difficult loss to St. Xavier 2 years ago. And then they lost to Elder, traveling over to what was just an absolutely great game on ESPN. And the Cardinals went 8-2, and they didn't get in the playoffs that year because not getting enough Harbin points. And so this is one of those kind of things where this is one of those special teams. It's an athletic team. Tom Bolden is wondering about the placement here, and he's calling up to the booth. And let's see what they're going to do here. It looks like the referee is going to call for something on the clock. Are they going to put more time on the clock? Yes, they're going to add some time on the clock. It was at 1:03, so I don't know why they're asking for 5 seconds. And now they're going to have some time, and this is not
think he's saying there should be 1:15 on the clock.
No, it was at 1:03. It was very clear that it was 1:03. 1:05. Okay. So they're going to give him 2 extra seconds. Wow. You know what? When they review this game, this crew is not going to get a very good mark.
Yeah, they
I mean,
missed a couple
you
calls here.
hate to say that, but I mean, this is 2 quality football teams, and you never want a coach to tell an official what to do.
Yep. You see here again, Bombers
First and
defensive backs
15.
can't let these guys behind them right now. Under a
Trips to
minute.
the far sideline. St. Xavier with some pressure. Williams looking to run, and they're going to take him down at about the 36-yard line. This is a tough kid. He just got nailed by 2 linebackers there. 47 seconds remaining in the game. The Cardinals going to put it down on the 35-yard line. 2nd and about 15. They finally got everybody back on sides, and it looks like there's a little confusion in the backfield here. Don't know why the play clock didn't start on that play. Williams going to chuck it up deep. Aaron looking. Aaron banks it out of bounds. No
he's
catch.
out of bounds.
Andrew Aaron tried to knock it out of bounds, but couldn't quite get it. Nice jump up in the air there by Curtis Jester, who went up to pull that one down. Or correction, I think that was number 33 on the play, Trevon Hudson.
You see on the replay there, ball was just out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, this young Williams has put the ball on the mark to Hudson there.
He really has, and for a guy that isn't known at all for his throwing abilities, he's made some nice passes here tonight.
3rd down and about 16 yards to go. There's 29 seconds. The Cardinals have 1 timeout. I got to think you look at a quarter draw here. See if the Bombers are coming. Daniels spying. Ball comes way down the middle of the field, and Aaron stayed way back, and Davis couldn't get behind him. 4th and 16. The Bomber players know what's going on here. The Cardinal faithful know what's going on here. You may as well not have seats. Everyone's standing.
This is the game right here, Dave. Like you said, 23 seconds left. 4th down.
Tom Bolden is going to take his final timeout. Now, Steve Specht has one. You got to believe if he sees something he doesn't like. Razzle dazzle. You know what I do? I wonder if you bring in your backup quarterback and then you try to like maybe pitch it to him and then send Williams out on a little flare. I think somehow maybe a hook and ladder. You gotta do something. You can get the chains to move and get this done. They've got a good field goal kicker, but with only 23 seconds, you would have to run to the line, spike it, and
yeah, I think they're going to reach down deep in that playbook right here and try to come up with something. There's not too many 4th and 16 calls in that playbook, especially ones with games on the line, but they're going to pull out their best play here.
The Cardinal faithful, dressed in red, standing on the sidelines, supporting their team that on the field is dressed in red and black. Across the way, a sea of blue, as the Bombers are dressed in blue. Their team in white, the student section in the whiteout tonight in white. It's coming down to this, 4th and 16. The ball is on the 35-yard line. The winner will play the winner of the Centerville Elk and Huber Heights Wayne Warriors game. Daniels on the blitz. Daniels coming after Williams. Williams throws it out of bounds and was not looking. And St. Xavier has 19 seconds to run off the clock. And head coach Steve Specht and his Bombers will be going on to the final against the Centerville Elk or the Huber Heights Wayne Warriors.
Yeah, there was a little confusion here, and I don't know if he was trying to get that ball to Durham or what, or I don't know if he thought maybe it was 3rd down, he could just throw the ball away, but there was a little confusion right there, and they definitely didn't have the right play call there, Dave.
To anyone who thought that a 5-4 team should not get into the playoffs and that the Harbin point system is not a good thing to have, the St. Xavier Bombers defeating the LaSalle Lancers, defeating the Colerain Cardinals. They will be going on to the finals. That will be the final play of the game. The Bombers will line up around head coach Steve Specht. Griffin Dolly, the junior quarterback, coming through tonight. We hope that the OHSAA will allow us to do the game next week. Tom Bolden and Steve Specht congratulating one another out at midfield. The teams will line up for the congratulatory shake. Coach, your thoughts on this final quarter?
Coach, you got to feel bad for the Colerain Cardinals right now. This is, they had such a great season here, such a dynamic team, and but that's the thing about the playoffs. It's anybody's game. You talk about the Bombers come in, a 4-loss team. I don't think anybody gave them much of a chance, and here you see them advancing on to the semifinals, and you got to give a lot of credit to the Bombers. They've put it together when they've had to, and that's what it takes for a team to be successful. You don't have to be hot all the whole year, but you got to be hot at the right times, especially right now going into the playoffs.
And you got to love a matchup like this between two coaches that respect another and two storied football programs. The Enquirer said it this week. This is the game. And from my point of view, this game lived up to all its hype. It was the game.
It really was. There's such momentum swings. Looked like at the beginning of the game there, the Cardinals were going to really put it on the Bombers. But you got to give a lot of credit to that St. Xavier. You got to give a lot of credit to that St. Xavier coaching staff. Kind of settled that team down, made some corrections, and got their team back going. And boy, a nice 24-23 victory tonight.
And then you look here in the second half, the Bombers score on their first drive, and then the Cardinal defense, as we talked about at the beginning of the game, starts to take the game over. The Cardinals score, and then what ended up happening is after the Cardinals scored, a little bit back and forth, and then the Cardinals scored again, and then the missed extra point. Bombers missed one earlier in the game, 2-point conversion to Ballinger, the difference.
It's funny, I actually had an opportunity to talk to the St. Xavier Bomber team, and I said, in the playoffs, it's not necessarily the big things you got to take care of, it's the little things. And like you said, a missed extra point being the difference in this game is such a disappointment that it comes down to something like that, but that's the reality of the playoffs, and that's the way it goes.
Well, I talked to the team the last 2 Mondays. We have to see if Coach Specht is going to bring me back in for the chapel visit. You know, pressure on Mr. Rieselman if I don't come in. You talk to him on Friday. And, you know, your heart goes out to the Colerain Cardinals. An undefeated season on the line for them. Tom Bolden is very good friends with Steve Specht, and this team did everything that they needed to do to win the game, except one little miscue.
You're exactly, and we talked about it before the game. One of our points of the game, one of our points of emphasis was execution. The Bombers definitely did that tonight. They executed, had some penalties at the beginning of the game, but settled down with that and just out-executed them tonight.
And now they'll move on to play the winner of Huber Heights Wayne or the Centerville Elks. The Elks run a triple offense like Colerain does. Huber Heights Wayne has Braxton Miller, Mr. Everything in the state of Ohio, and right now though it's just one and done. And so the Bombers only focusing on Colerain tonight. Your game plan analysis for St. Xavier?
I think right now they did such a good job. I love the play calling tonight. If they had some short passes, had some reverses, had some runs in there. They weren't one-dimensional, and you kind of maybe had the feeling going into the game that they were, especially with how they played last week in their success running, that they were just going to pound that ball. But they did that tonight. But also when they had to go to the pass, they were able to do that. Got some nice catches there by Kilgore and Sherman, and able to put together a very nice game tonight.
Defensively, I got to call it a tie. But actually, in the second half, I'd have to say the St. Xavier defense probably saved the game for the Bombers in the second quarter. But in the second half, I'm not saying the Bomber defense did a bad job, but I really feel that the Colerain Cardinals, we talked about linebacker play, that's what held them in this game.
It really was, and both teams came out and tackled a lot better. That was a little bit of an issue for the Bombers in the first half. They were in position a lot of times, but missed some tackles, did a nice job. Jake Rumpke had a heck of a game tonight and very sure in his tackling, and they did a real nice job stopping them and out-executed them.
Now, we talked about depth of players as well. It looks like Rumpke took an injury and did not come back in the game. Hughes had to come in. Max James went out. Griffin Dolly came in. Good execution on both of their parts.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll have to see how they progress here this week if they're able to get the Rumpke back. He's definitely a key tonight. Hopefully they'll get him back as well as Max James. We'll see what his situation is. And I know Connor Hundley, he's been banged up all year, and you got to give him a lot of credit sucking it up and getting out here. It's the playoffs. It's a one game season, so they're going to try to get those guys some rest, get them healthy, do whatever they have to do, and get ready for this next game because they're advancing.
Well, tomorrow is not an off day for the Bomber players. They will all be at open house as St. Xavier opens its doors to all in the Cincinnati community to come in and take a look at what's going on. And I'm sure if we can get a copy of this tape will be up. And you know, tonight was all about high school football, and both of these communities came out strong and supported their teams.
They really did. You got to like to see that kind of a West Side matchup there. Got a lot of Cardinal faithful in the stands tonight, and I can tell they're very, very disappointed because they had one of their best teams in recent memory. But that's the way it goes. Sometimes you got to give a lot of credit to the Bombers. They came out, executed well, had a nice game plan, and it went in their favor tonight.
Well, when you're being in this part in the tournament, too, you've got 16 teams, and looks like they're going to come back to us. We were going to go around there and try to take a look at what's going on in the field. We'd like to call what's happening with the Bombers out there. And so now we'll go, and now the St. Xavier Bombers are going to go over in front of their student cheering section. We'll see if we can focus in on this. The Bombers will sing their alma mater to their student cheering section, and they are a very, very, very happy bunch. And there's the whiteout going on the far sideline, and as soon as they stop cheering one another, they'll put their hands in the air. They'll sing that alma mater. You do that at Notre Dame as well when you were there, and I think this is just one of those things, win or lose, as the Bomber players lock arms. And this is a great job by the volunteers at Waycross Community to bring this to you here. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it with the loud music being played in the stadium, but there it is.
That's what it's all about right there, Dave. You see a bunch of people coming together. Gotta love seeing that.
So that crew over there in blue and white will be moving on, and hopefully our crew here at Waycross Community Media will be moving on as well. And it all depends on what the Ohio High School Athletic Association says, along with STO, who owns the rights to the games. But we certainly hope that they'll let them bring this game to you. For Rocky Boyman, I'm Dave Eby. We'd like to thank you for tuning in to tonight's game. If you like what you see, give us a call at 825-2429, and you too could be on a future broadcast or production by Waycross Community Media. Thank you, and good night.
Copies of this program are available for $20 each. Send program title along with your address and check or money order to Waycross Community Media. Attention Dub Coordinator, 2086 Waycross Road, Forest Park, Ohio 45240. Or buy securely on the web at www.waycross.tv.